evolution is still a theory, and I just fucking face planted. I couldn't even believe that he said that. Evolution
Wow.
is a theory? No. I feel like conspiracy theorists, just the term has completely debased the word theory. Because theory in science means something completely different to, oh, here's my anime theory, here's my conspiracy theory. They're not the same thing. When I say the theory of general relativity, special relativity, E equals mass times speed of light squared, that's a theory in terms of, oh, hey, I used that in my calculations when sending satellites into space. I use that as the calculations to determine when the next eclipse is coming. That's general relativity, special relativity. That's a theory. And yet you use it.
Squared plus P2C2E. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't really. Yeah. All for watching Tucker Carlson, dude.
So I just don't understand that you clearly don't know what you're talking about, and you're just saying shit. That's why it's still a theory. You don't know what a theory is in scientific terms. So why are you even saying that? Oh, that was.
Dude, you need to get on my level. You need to get on my level, right? Because what I've been watching is how to make a LRAD out of Walmart parts so I can permanently damage people's eardrums. A long-range acoustic device. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me go to my bookmarks. I gotta get the tweet. Our favorite religious hater, Trickies.
Brother.
Wait, what?
I just watched this tweet.
Yeah, you need to get on my algorithm, bro. Way more informative. Yeah, I've been like the fact I would recommend it. This is fucking wild. Oh, I don't even know if I should post this here. Like one of you crazy motherfuckers would. Well, I'm just gonna put it in DMs. Yeah.
Did you see the video I sent you with the wife that isn't allowed to speak on camera and she's fully covered in a fucking burqa, and she has to write on the whiteboard?
For what purpose? Just like vow of silence.
That's some religious shit.
Yeah, it's done like a lot of Eastern religions too. Yeah.
I'm sorry, there is nothing even close in Hinduism to that, where you're fully covered in she looks like a letterbox.
I mean, yeah. There isn't anything like that. I don't think. Actually, maybe there might be, but I don't know it. So, got me there. They do have vow of silence, but they're like a week or something. It's like usually for a week. It's not like you just are unable to use your voice. Did you know that your neural pathways for speaking will start to fall apart if you do not talk for periods of time? Meaning, you can like just forget how to speak if you do that long enough.
Sure.
Like it's insane. Like there was somebody, I can't remember who it was. I just think it's like interesting how quick your brain's able to just go, yeah, no, like, you know, we don't use this anymore, so we're just like things like speech and like that's such an integral part of like most people's lives. Yeah, you become like this odd version of semi-mute, like through not talking.
Nice.
It's pretty fucking odd. Wait, I send this out. Yeah, you should make the you can do an argument. Maybe you don't like somebody. There you go.
Sorry, you sent me a short and I just got turned off. I don't.
Oh, come on. Yeah, it's just, dude. Come on. You look up what an LRAD is. Like,
you know, and it's a TikTok styled short because he has a green screen on in the background. Oh my god. You know, I'm very judgmental when it comes to TikTok. I just don't like the platform, and I don't like any of the aesthetic that comes from it. I think TikTok is, I think it's the final evolution of short form content, where, and the thing is, people are using it literally, and that's the problem with short form content. Is when people use it literally for news, that means they're low gumption. It's actually facilitating low gumption individuals. They're making them in factories.
Dude, yeah, they know. ever seen the like I'm sure you've seen like the freaking like TikTok houses, like that shit's fucking insane.
I
Have
haven't seen the
like
TikTok
100
houses.
people
I've
in it.
never installed the app, and I've
What
never.
is that?
I don't use TikTok. I don't use TikTok. Like I've never used
What is
TikTok.
TikTok
So
house? What?
okay, TikTok houses are essentially these huge, sometimes mansions, sometimes sweatshop tier buildings that exist mainly right now in like the west coast of the U.S., where like contractors will get like social media influencers to move in, and they'll use them as like guinea pigs on a wheel to farm content out for monetary reasons. Um, yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy actually. Like you'll get like one room, and then like you'll have like 100 people in the same place, like just doing TikTok videos. Like their entire housing is based off of their social influence and the amount, like the frequency and popularity of content they can make. It's the equivalent of it's like a what do you say? It's like think of kind of like a studio for making music from like a big company like Universal, but instead of you just going there to produce the music, you live there. Like you are there for that is where you live. You are there to make content, and that is your only existence. Like that is your income, that is your housing,
You make it sound
right?
so dark, but then you realize that's
It
just a
is.
live streamer. Oh, you're
Yeah,
there in your
there
house,
is
and
also.
you're.
I mean, it's like Phase Clan. I mean, honestly, you get like the Phase House and shit. I mean, honestly.
I don't know. You make it sound so dark. I'm in
It
a
is pretty.
house, and I'm
If you
there
get
to
if you go to the
work from
lower
my house.
lower part of it, there's a range, right? There's a range. So if you get into like the face house shit, they're bougie, rich ass, like whatever. Like they but if you get down to like the lower level, like especially
No, the
like
face house is super
startup
fucked
companies,
up. You live with your employer.
all of it is, yeah.
There needs to be a separation between employee and employee.
Yep.
You should never give the employer so much leverage over your life because that allows you. You should never have to justify yourself on why you're just lounging around and relaxing. Why aren't you making
Well,
content? No. This is my lounge time now.
I think
I've
a
got a
good
quota.
comparison is like in places like Japan, they have like live in work like areas, right? I mean, even at like the social media campuses, they have like a lot of the apartments are direct. They have they have like Meta housing, for instance. That's a real thing where Meta like buys specific apartment complexes or contracts specific apartment complexes to be specific, and gives lower rates to employees through the apartments they're contracting with, um, as it's directly next to the campus. For the company, it's a good thing because the availability of the person is like just like skyrocketed as they have no excuse not to go to their job. It's right next to them. Um, but in
Wait,
Japan,
this is a
oh
historic thing. You make it sound like this
yeah,
is
yeah,
a new thing. Yeah,
no,
this is
no, I'm not.
awful.
I
I
mean,
mean that's
I'm not
how
saying it's
people
new,
were
but
arranged.
yeah, it's
They
a good
lived
thing
right next to
on
their
the.
job,
It's kind
and
of
in the industrial
it's symbiotic.
revolution,
Yeah.
they
Coal
created.
coal cities, coal towns, like mining towns. I mean, honestly, but
True.
it's not new. I'm just saying that's like it's what it is. So I'm comparing this with the idea that okay, instead of this, you are living in like Meta, like you live like you would live like that's kind of the difference between like
You
same
live
with
on
like
campus.
specific, yeah, literally, yeah. So with the thing is that like with a job like that, if everything goes to shit, you can use that in other markets. So let's say you're a software developer and I don't know, huge layoff in Meta. All right, you obviously have to pay your rates are now like quadrupled for where you were living, and the whole point of you being there was probably so you could go to Meta, right? So like now, but you still have the credentials of working there with the knowledge you got from it. When it comes to TikTok and Twitch and all that type of streamy shit, there isn't really like you can't just be like yeah, this like it's really hard to get out of that market once you go into it. It kind of black holes you as you. It's very unless you're doing an extremely niche thing you can put into a different market. You're pretty much fucked if like the company goes under that contracted you to the house or
Yes,
you
I
get
know.
fired. Like there is no real future outside of continuing to do it. So yeah, just kind of weird.
You've never
I'd
thought of
really
this
like to.
before? I
No, I've heard
know.
this, but I want to like I really want to see somebody like makes a serious archive of the specific companies that are doing this and like catch up with them and stay like kind of track them over the next 10 years. So, because I don't know, it'd be really interesting. Like make some sort of like dossier on like where do they go afterwards? Why did the company fail? You know, that sort of shit. Like, you know, where do the people go afterwards? Because I don't I don't think a lot of them are thinking about that in the time period. They
I
also
mean,
like, you know,
yeah,
they
that
mainly
would be
focus on
curious.
younger they focus on younger people as well a lot of the time. Like you're not seeing many like, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's usually like people just getting out of high school or college.
Yeah, why
You
do you
know,
think
that are
that is? There's
just
a massive selection bias there. Who are the
yeah,
people that are using these
absolutely,
social
yeah.
media apps, and who are the people that don't have those career
Very good
already
demographic.
set in a career path? Yeah, yeah, of course, it's going to be
So
younger people. Of
so
course, those are the only people
these
that could possibly do this.
so they have like no experience in life outside of like the amount of education they had and possibly living with their parents up until they get a deal. Like so, I don't know. I might you might see like like I don't know. It seems like a really bad dead end to say the least. Like oh anyway I don't know. I'm kind of like I don't have much of a bias on the TikTok shit because I kind of like I don't know
What
like
do you
I've
mean
seen like social
bias?
media it's
Hold
the
on. What do
attention
you mean
span.
by bias?
Oh, I don't have a
Why'd you?
bias, and when I see the aesthetic of it or the, you know, short attention span marketing campaign from a company, I just kind of like instead of going, "I'm not watching this because, I just don't like the aesthetic and it seems really forced," I try to see what the person actually does with it, right? Because occasionally you'll get, like, pretty informative stuff. It's just that, like, you know, how do they
Pretty
like, how do they
informative
go
stuff in a short span video. No, that's junk information. That's pop information. That's nothing serious. That's something that you're gonna forget in the next month. Try and recall any of the facts that you learned. The short should be a foot in the door moment for you to get into actual learning about something. I couldn't
there? Yeah.
put in a minute, in the span of a minute, tell you how how Doris works in a high round sense and the mechanics behind it. I just can't. So anyone that calls themselves informed after a minute of learning about Doris in a short bite-sized short, you're lying to yourself. You're not informed.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
those are
Yeah,
the
not you're
low
not
gumption
informed. It's a
individuals that are being created. It's systematic. It really
we're gonna
is.
make a gumption counter for you. I love it. Yeah, it's a little gumption. People need to use that word more, to be honest. Fucking, yeah, I do. It does have its benefits, but like, I don't know. It's not going anywhere, so avoiding it completely is kind of like meaningless.
How is it meaningless?
I mean, it's gonna at least for me, everyone has their own thing, but for me, I've had to kind of just accept. Okay, this is how I have to like you know, this is kind of how everything works now with it. Like, there's no way that me like I don't know. Anyway, how's your day been, Fleur? How's your day
Sorry, I'm
been?
reading something. Hold on. Also, don't do any of that small talk shit. How's your day been? I don't operate on those levels. Sorry.
You asked me what
You
was
can.
above you. Wait, what's under you? What's
Yeah,
under
I
you?
said what's above you in the most ironic sense, and then I said, You actually know the sky's above you? No, no, no. Don't even
Is it?
pretend."
What if I'm upside down? You never know. Could be hanging myself by my
I
feet
actually
on the
said your
ceiling.
ceiling was above you, not the sky. But you know, an
Yeah, I
act
could
of
be upside
speaking.
down for all you know.
What's about? Uh-huh.
Trickies. I meant to I've been spamming you this anime. I want you to at least watch it if you're able to. If that's
What that
okay.
like bus one or something?
Yeah, the
Which one?
dioxin one. It's about the Cerviso disaster in Italy, right? So
Yeah,
basically
you
there
were
was
telling me
a
about it.
yeah, it's yeah, I
It's like
really would like to
historical. Is it alternate
yeah,
history?
it's a real no, it's a real like historical event that happened. It made it a lot it literally there's something called the Cerviso rating system that's used. It's called like the event was called like a chemical Hiroshima. Um Pretty interesting stuff. You like I've not met many people even bring this up, but very, very impactful moment when it comes to industrial failures. Like I think it was like 70,000 people were like killed over a period of like 9 years because of just like that like a company not putting the right safety equipment into a single factory because of like them rushing it like during the Cold War.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds so
Um.
uninteresting.
Oh my God.
all the urban disaster porn is so 2010s. That's all I'm saying.
What does that mean?
Urban disasters is so boring by this point.
comment.
How many times have we heard of Chernobyl? How many times have we heard of Fukushima? I'm so tired, and it's always the same step-by-step process. It always is the same step. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah, that is fair. It's like safety regulations. It's probably rushed. A lot of them usually happen in like the Cold War. Yeah, literally. No, I get your point. Just the point you call it freaking, like, what is it? What would you call it? Like urban disaster porn. Oh my god,
that's what wild. It is.
For sure. Oh man, okay. Still worthwhile. It was made really well. The it wasn't okay. So another like thing I think is interesting about it, I guess, would give more lure is that because it is directly attacking one of the biggest biomedical companies on the planet.
Oh my
it was
God.
like gate kept from the U.S. audience. So the sub that it was never dubbed, and the sub that you're seeing, there was no sub for it either in English. Rosh have a lot of power, so like it was from like 2003, and just like the last I think whenever it was released, whatever the release date is, that's from a team of Japanese anime fans that had to like translate it as a sub team. They didn't get like any sub or dub licensing for the anime, so just saying, it's not taught in schools or anything either, as it's directly attacking Rosh, which is anyway, just really interesting how they have that much power, being a company that no one knows of but has their like hands in pretty much. It's like the you ever heard of BlackRock? It's like the or Vanguard, like the property asset companies. It's kind of similar. They have a similar vibe.
I mean, you didn't provide any evidence for anything you just said.
I'm definitely like just kind of pulling strings together with the fact that it was made by. If you start looking at the.
What is this anime called? Hold on. What is this anime called?
Oh, it's
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you sent it as like a joke at first. Like I thought it was like a meme.
What is the anime called?
No, it's called The Life on Earth, Dioxin, or let me see. There's another name for it.
It's like a movie, right?
Yeah, it's like I think an hour and a half long. Something like that. It's
no
called
Natsu?
Yeah, it's it's called the in English it's the Summer of Dioxin, or also known as Tracing the Gray Summer. One of the directors, you know what what's the name of it? I can't believe I forgot the name of that shit.
Urusei 6.6 out of 10. Yo, BlackRock really is strong. I see this 6.6 out of 10. And the thing is, you gotta realize the retards on this planet, they're always looking at these numbers, man. They love these numbers. That's it.
It's an historical anime. It's a big snort. Yeah. What is it? Freaking
this is Edward Snowden's #1 anime. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So what is it? Urusei? He was a director for Urusei. Yeah. Like it was made like by what's his name? Or directed by Satoshi Denzakai.
What is this? What you keep linking? The YouTube video?
I've linked it a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
Yep.
Like
I watched it with Niraj. I watched it with Niraj, and it was pretty wild, dude. I don't even think you watched that much anime, so. It's also not like this isn't like the demographic of most anime fans. They're not going into watching an anime trying to so it's not gonna get good, like, but it is really, it's like actually really well made. I was surprised. When I get bored, I'll just look at these random ass like old. I have a thing for like 80s and 90s aesthetic anime, like Bubblegum Crisis and shit. So I follow a lot of sub teams that like resub if the sub's bad. For like these older animes that don't have much like press release currently. Before the whole like Eva wave, and then it becoming like popularized through American television, like with Toonami and shit for 4Kids. There's a whole era of anime that really isn't like subbed or dubbed that much. It's mainly like random ass like it's like fucking slice of life or some shit. It's not like an historical event. Anyway, would recommend. I would highly At least check it out.
No.
No. Well, at least you're honest.
It's incredibly uninteresting. Natural disaster porn, but in anime form is even worse. It's even worse. I would never.
Technically, chemical disaster. It's not natural. What happened was fucking could have been prevented so easily.
Urban disaster porn. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's what I was meant to say. Those rules. Shut the fuck up. Entirely objection.
Well, yeah.
God,
I got the place. I went to yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. We're living with I think it's like a 40-year-old, and it's like whoever's leaving. I think it's like a 30-year-old and like a 40-year-old or some shit. So it's gonna be weird, but I don't really care.
What has that got to do with anything?
My position there, is completely on if I can pay rent and the roommates like me. Obviously, if I have any issues with the roommate.
I thought you were getting a house, not moving into a commune. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, I have a place in Georgia, but I don't really give a fuck. If you want to try,
that's not actually your place.
It's in my name. It's split between me and my sister.
And
it is.
You forgot to sign someone.
Oh yeah, and well, for now.
I hope she gets it. I'm just saying. I hope you do lose that.
I put my hands up, and I'm like, I don't even care about this. It sounds like a way of getting me back into feuds with my family. I left the other side of the country to avoid. So I don't, you know what I mean? Fuck around and find out.
What?
No, fuck around and find. I don't I don't know. Okay. What is a better idea? Me going through the effort of trying to manage a property that is on the other side of the continent, as a 25-year-old with no real real estate knowledge, or just saying have fun with it. You know, I don't know. Seems like a lost cause in my opinion.
Don't know that was a response to, but she should have it.
Okay.
What you mean, okay?
And Flair is so hostile today.
That's not. I already told him that in DMs that she should have it.
Yeah, dude, I do not care.
Why is it in your name?
Because my father's home.
So you inherited it?
Yes.
Damn, I feel so bad for her.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Nah, seriously, I feel so bad because it's that's they were married, right?
They didn't live there. She has her own home.
Oh, that's even better. Kick you out. She
Bro,
should be renting from her, my brother. You should be renting.
Dude. You know what was weird was so my dad passed away in May of last year. The first call I had from her was, "You want to go to that place? Are you sure you'll be okay there? There's a lot of drugs, and And I'm like, I don't it was the house I was raised in, by the way. I was the first 7-8 years of my life were in that place. So not the best years either.
Appeal to emotion.
Yeah. You want to go back to this place and blah 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 and and it was she was trying to set it up, rent it out.
Oh, I need my home again. I need to conquer it back.
Yeah, I was I'm over here on the other side of the country. Bro, my dad just died. I am not thinking about this stupid fucking property. I'm good. I want to make sure my sister okay. Yeah, dude. I get the property, bro. Come on.
No, because you don't even fuck with your dad. So it's oh fuck, I need to get this property. I need to live with my dad was a douche.
My dad was a douche, but I did I went over. I think I said this to you. I went over to Georgia back in 2021 because his health was starting to go to shit, and I kind of I realized kind of as an adult, and I don't know. He kind of chilled out in the last years of his life, so. It ended on good terms at least, but yeah, I don't fuck with him on a financial level at all. The dude's he used to use food stamps to get toothpaste and then resell it on eBay. Like really shady ass activities.
That's
Yeah, because
disrespectful.
apparently
Now,
the
I was gonna
import
ask,
tax
right?
is
Wait, how
less
long were
just
they
shipping it.
married?
Like 2 years.
Oh, that's it. Wait, so
Yep.
how did she acquire the property?
Because it's like she just is married to him next to
Well, I know
what
you
do you not
share
next
your
to him,
assets, but how? But
yeah,
that's
that's it.
but not before marriage, right?
Yeah, they were married for 2 years, so
So did they
she
buy the house
legally.
in the 2 years?
No, the house is he's owned the home for
So how did she get
like
that
20,
asset? That's what I don't
26
understand.
years. Because he didn't have a will. So in the legal process, everything will go to
Oh,
the spouse if like if there is no will.
oh, yeah. Okay, so you should have it. Okay, I thought they were married for a long time and they acquired the
No,
asset
no, it was
during the
she's a
marriage.
coworker from his bakery job that he hooked up with, and she's actually what's weird is she's closer to my age than my father's. This is weird. I don't know. The whole
How's that
situation's odd.
weird?
It was a little weird. Like he kind of hooked up with some random server, and then I mean, she's who she is, I guess. But like, I don't know. The whole situation's odd.
How's
She
that
like
weird?
treated my sister like garbage. Like my sister is not even on speaking terms with her. My sister was like insulted and berated by her constantly to the point that she would just like completely stop contact with her, even while my dad was still alive. So
Sounds.
yeah, so yeah, just a
Yeah,
bunch of.
no,
It
that's
sounds like
fucked
Jerry
up.
shit,
Nah, you
right? It
should be
sounds like
fighting that.
Jerry. I'm not. I'm in the like favor of my sister. I think my sister should have the property and just get an act. I have a friend whose dad's a realtor, and the second that my grandmother's literally like in the next 2 weeks getting a lawyer to take her to court over it. Um, so what is it like? Worst case.
Your
Um,
sister should have it. That is
yeah.
the.
Well, she lives in Georgia. She
You're an
has.
adult. You're an adult.
Yeah. You fuck yeah. Yeah, I love
You're
my
an
sister. My sister's awesome.
adult. You
She's
need to
currently
fight to the fucking death. Do you not know how
amen.
the
Yeah, no,
Ottoman Empire worked? You killed all your
I
fucking
hooked her
brothers.
up with
You
I
killed
hooked her up
all
with an
your brothers, so
actuary.
you and it was legal fratricide, which means brother killing. You
I know
killed
what
all
practice
your brothers, and one
Cain and Abel.
point,
We're on some Cain and Abel shit, man.
one guy brought in tiny little coffins because he killed baby brothers too, and then he paraded them going through the street. And that's what you should do. I mean, you fight to the death. Why should your sister get it but not you? This fucking war.
I don't. Oh, because she deserves it. Like she needs a place. Like I'm chilling.
Deserves it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. She's done nothing but work for like she went directly from like high school to uni, and her entire life has been her studying so she could be a veterinarian. Like, and we had no like neither of us. Our family's poor, and neither of us had savings. I have like 4 or 5 years of me just consistently working where I have like my own independent adult life.
Okay.
So
but what do you mean by deserve? What does deserve mean?
She deserves. I don't know. She deserves the money for the house. She needs some sort of savings, right? Like I don't want her like she doesn't really have like my grandmother's really the only like person that can help her with like I had to help her with rent recently. Like I don't know. Like I feel like the amount of money we keep.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no. She lives in Georgia and she needs a place to stay. Yeah, no, like hook her up.
Yeah, right. Fuck that. And like I was like, best case, this would be the most like beneficial for her or both parties, regardless. Is why wouldn't we just fix it up a little bit, then make it a source of income through renting it? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the most like.
You fucking scumbags.
I know. Yeah,
I'm the proletariat. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, hammer and sickle. I'm gonna have to take you to the streets.
Dentistry school. It's next to a dentistry school. I mean, it's a really nice location for like students, which are going to be the ones renting. So it's prime real. It's a little like I know the name prime real estate.
Students too? They're probably communists.
Oh no. Oh no, they're gonna make my teeth Marxist. They're gonna make my teeth Marxist because it's a dentistry school. They're gonna make my wisdom teeth communist, dude. I'm scared.
Yeah.
They're going about the bourgeoisie over and over.
The way you said that, the bourgeoisie. Bourgeois.
Fucking commies.
Bourgeois. Bourgeois.
Bougie.
Bougie. Yeah. Nah, that's too.
I didn't see a firm coming here. How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
He doesn't assert himself. That's on him.
Yeah.
He should have just interrupted you.
Nah, dude, he's in the metaverse. I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, my guy left because you were rambling. He said none of that.
I don't know what I was saying, dude. Dude, I'm like a sleeper cell. It just comes out and I forget it, dude.
Sleeper. Guy said sleeper cell.
Dude, KTV, brother. I don't know what to do. I'm off. Do you have what game did you link me? It was like a what was the name of the game? You're talking about a game you were recommending. I think it's in chat or something.
Disco Elysium, maybe.
I think yeah, Skull. Yeah, it was Skull. I should probably play that or some shit.
Why should you play it?
Sounded neat.
Okay. Do you want to know what disco? It sounded neat. Was it? What you mean?
I like the idea of it being a dystopian post-apocalyptic area where you have no idea about the like what goes on outside of the areas you're in, and all knowledge is based around where you're at. Like that's kind of cool. And I forget the thing was called. The concept. Yeah, it's something like that. Like I've never played it, but you were talking about how just like it was essentially in a dystopian setting, and all knowledge is around like the place that you are, and there's like areas where like pretty much the laws of reality change when you go outside of the area or something like that.
Oh cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically like little pockets where you are, and then when you're going in between the in between the barriers, like physics breaks and weird shit happens, and then you can enter another pocket of reality. Yeah, that game. Oh, I didn't even tell you like the premise of the game. It's basically you wake up completely drunk and you're hungover, sorry, and you have no idea what's going on, and you're ostensibly this detective that has to take down this body and investigate who murdered this guy. And it's in the background of this. It's not dystopian. It's sort of a rundown backwards part of town, and you're a cop, but they don't have cops there. It's basically union run, where they have their own union men doing the law, because the state is so is basically a failed state that they don't have the resources to just send people anywhere. So this has basically been an area left to fend for itself, and that's sort of the backdrop of the game.
Like, got you.
Yeah, it's a super fucked up game, and I think in terms of finding meaning in a world like that is something so cool. You have amnesia, and finding meaning in a world like that from all you start to like rediscover previous traumas your character had, and overcoming that, or depending on what you want to do. I try to overcome, and finding meaning in a life as an old man that's sort of just being stagnant and really depressing is really cool. I like it. I like nihilism, and it's something that I've always had to contend with. Well, when I was a kid, I had to contend with it, and I didn't have the mechanisms to what'd you call it? Think about it for a long time, or overcome those those ideas on what's gonna happen when I die, all that sort of stuff. And having a game where it puts you in that conversation, well, the pale is gonna engulf everything, and then everything is gonna be nothing. Basically
you said it was like I remember you saying that it's like really it's like really resemblant to like heat death or something.
Yeah. It's like heat death, but cool. Way closer.
Yeah, you're on like Iron Star level heat death, basically. That's cool. Interesting. I'll probably check it out like in the next few days.
I think it's definitely worth playing if you like. It's very adult in terms of. I mean, adult in terms of there's like porn and shit. No, I mean adult in terms of the way that it treats you and the concepts that it goes through, and the way that it goes through them, and the way the characters act. They're very adult. There's no jejune bullshit. And the comedy it does have is very ironic and quite dark.
Interesting. Everyone I've been around in real life recently has been ODing on like the whole iPhone emulator thing, and I'm just kind of like over it.
What do they play?
Like, bro, every time Pokemon. Like every time it's Pokemon, and I'm just like, I would look at like all my coworkers' screens. It's just like what is that? One person's playing Emerald, the other's playing like Emerald Kaizo. It's like, come on, fuck.
But at least he's playing a real game. I hate when people play their childhood games verbatim. I wish they played. I like researching things before I do them. I'm one of those. Maybe it's living. Maybe yeah. I realize I might have serious anxiety because I plan quite meticulously before I do anything. Usually my
It could be like a double-edged sword, like benefiting from like if you're overthinking everything. Obviously,
no,
like,
I don't
you're
overthink things, but when I'm going to
like
do
planning's fine.
Overthinking is too broad because Yezi is an overthinker. You say something and he sees 7 different slides in what you just said. No. I don't think like that. I'm very tolerant to shit people say. I don't think about that.
Yes.
Maybe I think a little bit too little when it comes to social situations, but when it comes to an action that I'm going to do, I like that shit to be quite choreographed. I don't like going into something where I'm completely blind. It's just very uncomfortable for me. And I'm talking about the most basic shit. Okay, I'm gonna go outside and I don't know. Let's say I need to go and get my eye tested. It's like, okay, which way am I gonna go to get my eye tested? It's very, very choreographed in terms of, okay, this is the exact way I'm gonna take, pre-planned and everything like that. Every time I go cycling, it's like I have a very pre-planned route. Like if I'm thinking, okay, this is I just thought I just extended, and I finally did an extension after maybe like 3 years doing 30. I was doing 38 kilometers, basically all my routes, and I extended it to 53. So I lined up all my routes to all hit 53. And it was very choreographed.
Like, was this like in what context were your routes? Like, what does that mean? Like, do you mean like we're just traveling, like car wise, for your like?
No,
what,
for
please,
cycling. For cycling.
Oh, for cycling. Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, I was like, if you're doing that on like everywhere you go, then that's
I'm doing that everywhere I go. No, I'm doing that everywhere I go. No, seriously.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, that's some maspy shit, but I fuck with it. It's definitely some aspy shit, but it's cool.
I don't know what that means.
I like Asperger's. It's like pretty autistic, but it's like in a good way.
Sure. I don't know what in a good way or in a bad way means. I don't know why you're moralizing.
I'm making a slur to people with autism, but then I'm also saying that that it's a beneficial trait.
Oh, sorry. Again, I need to reiterate. I don't care when you say these slurs. I'm not a Yezi. I don't.
Well, that's what it means, yeah.
I told you this before too. When it comes to these when it comes to doing hypotheticals, just assume that nobody in here cares. No one's judging you for anything, and I'm not judging you for calling me Mr. Asperger's.
I didn't call you Mr. Asperger's. I just wanted you to know that's what I meant. So, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so okay. Do you think like what do you? I guess I call it like the surfer mentality, where it's like, so you're not just going with the waves, like with shit. Like, yeah, like you literally do you just freak out when you don't have any plan for what you're doing in the next like short period of time? You have to like keep everything kind of like structured, or you'll just not like you'll just freak out. Okay.
I like having a clean room. I like things being really structured. When things are not structured, it it becomes a mental stack for me where I see something and I'm like, nah, I don't like this. I don't like this, and it's not in an environment where I can work in. Whether that be I don't know, just use a hypothetical, let's say you have a fucked up desktop, and I'm just thinking, fuck, that desktop is super fucked up. I don't even want to work in that environment, so I won't even clean it because I don't even want to see it.
Oh, you just give up completely if there isn't some sort of like if it, yeah, I get you. Yeah. I always found it interesting the type of people. I'm somewhat similar with like scheduling things. I just have like hella anxiety. If things don't go right, something can go wrong, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't want to get lost in something. It'd be like an errand, or I don't know, it's not anything really. But I've really found it interesting. The people that are like the opposite. I met a lot of people that are like they just wake up and they just like go where the wind takes them, and it just works. They have no anxiety about it.
For me.
Yeah, no, there are people like that. I never understood that. Like, how are they not like what are you gonna do tomorrow? I don't know. It's like, bro.
That's absurd. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird though, because like if people that their entire lives are like that, and they're like, yeah, man, I just whatever happens, brother. And I'm like, what? It doesn't make any sense. I guess it works, but like, bro.
Yeah,
there was someone when I was in like at Cambridge, there was some dude who was taking an economics class.
That's a real place where I live, so that's super fucked up when you say that.
Cambridge is like Cambridge is in like the what do you call it, area in like near Boston, like Massachusetts.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like MIT, Harvard, that area. So what do you say? I met someone there who was in their like 30s or something, right? Taking an economics course, and it's weird because like, okay, so honestly, their father does like, he's like one of the bigger capital venture people in Indonesia. He's from Indonesia. It was like foreign exchange to go to the program. The dude's like in his like 30s or so, taking a really, really, really prestigious like school program for economics. And I'm like, oh, this guy's probably like, he has all of his shit, like he's ranger rolling his clothes type thing. Like he is on like a really meticulous level with everything. And then I go meet him, and it turns out he's just some surfer. He just surfs, and he just randomly was like, I guess I'm just gonna do economics. I don't fucking know. He surfed for like 10 years straight, and he just like, yeah. And what's weird is he didn't even give a shit about the course. He flunked it. He didn't even care. He was like, yeah, I just thought it'd be fun. Wow. Yeah, and I was asking like, what are you gonna do after this? Like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how are you not pulling your hair out stressing? Like, I don't know. I don't understand that. But at the same time, people live like that and do much better than me in life. So it's like, there's something going on. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to be really conscious of what I'm doing, otherwise I'm dead. I'm dead in the water. Actually, recently I started. I was like, I actually really should just learn how the government works, all the institutions, all the branches of government for UK. So I started taking. What'd you call it? I just started. I got recommended this video, so I was like, oh, just fell on my lap. Okay, this is the time to do this, because he has a whole. He'll have like one video just generally outlining the topic, and then he'll go into different aspects meticulously. So if he's focusing on the Constitution, then he'll go, okay, we have an unwritten Constitution. So he'll be like, okay, what's the debate for codifying the Constitution? So the way our Constitution works is basically it's just like any law. And in America, I'm pretty sure you need to have a supermajority in both houses in order to pass an amendment. So it's very static. Whereas it's very fluid in the UK. Very flexible. Yeah. It's also super old. Going back to like Magna Carta, when we stopped being a fully absolute monarchy. So it's like 1204. And I just started learning about just how the general functions of the government, because sometimes I'll look at news in regards to politics, and I don't have the literacy to understand exactly what an outrage is. So that was the outrage, a few years ago over Boris Johnson, and the crisis of a constitutional crisis. I'm just like, what does that mean? Why is that shit a big deal? I just don't have the literacy to understand, and there is a prerequisite knowledge you need to understand, or you need to know in order to fully grasp the gravity of the situation. And so, yeah, I'm just learning. I'm going through the institutions, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is only going to be really short. And then I saw the playlist, and it's like part 1, 50 videos. I'm like, oh my god! So I'm just listening. I'm just listening to them every time I go on a bike ride. It's like a 2-hour bike ride. I'm just listening to them learning about the government, and it's like a full. It's like meant to be the it's like actual material for school. Like, this is like what people use for their A levels.
Or
yeah,
is this on YouTube? Oh, dude, please link that. I don't know much about UK politics. Literally, this is where I'm at. I know what the Tories are, kind of, and it's not even like what they are. I just know this because I had a friend. I'll use his name A. A's good. A's good. And he just talked about the Tories like a fuck ton. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. I just not
so
taught.
They're the party that have been in government since 2010. And it's sort of a slur. It's so there used to be a party called the Tory Party back in pre-1800s. Our political parties are really old, by the way. And then the Tory Party collapsed and became the Conservatives. So he's referring to the Conservative Party, or the Conservative and Union Party, and everyone just calls them the Tories because that's who they are, just with a different name. They are just the Tories. And so if he's talking about them, it's because they've been in government for the last 14 years now.
Wow,
so those are the people that are.
So the same as just kind of the Conservative Party of the UK. Essentially, it's a slur, but it's because of like there being a Conservative Party called that way back in the day. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's literally all my knowledge.
They don't refer to themselves as the Tories.
That's right. That's like the slur. It's like yeah, I get it. It's like we call somebody like I got it. I think I got an idea.
MAGA Republicans.
Yeah, I was gonna say MAGA.
Actually, but they call themselves a MAGA anyway. Really
yeah, that's I almost said that. I was like, there's probably like some other. Anyway. I can't. I don't remember off the top of my head, but Americans have a bunch of slurs that go both ways. I mean, anything from like calling a liberal GOP. To a hippie to like, on all levels.
Anyway. GOP.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Depending on the term it's used, like the appropriation of the
GOP is used in sanitized situations. You'll have news headlines say GOP.
Yeah, great old party.
It's a very great old party. Yeah, it's a very serious. It's used in sanitary, news like conditions. Whereas Tories, you'll sometimes see people refer to them as Tories, but nah, that's fully a slur. It's a pretty funny one. I always found that funny. The Tories. I can't believe that's 200 years old. Then they haven't been the Tories since the 1800s.
No, guess I am an American, right? And that is the only real knowledge I have on UK politics outside of like, what was her name? The female prime minister everyone hated. I forget her name though. Margaret Thatcher. Yeah. That's all I know. And I mean, I think that's like I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to hear an actual deep dive on how the political system there works. So.
Yeah, I was meant to be finding that. Hold on. I'm going through my history. I just watched this one. Sure.
Yeah, I'll be like right back.
Sure.
Hello everybody and welcome to Alan History Nerd.
Wait, why did I already had the playlist up and I just went and searched for the playlist.
All right, I'm back.
Did
you? Oh, you linked it. Fuck
yeah,
let's go. UK government.
It's component 2. I'm not even doing it in the right order. I just realized.
That's cool. I could just use the. I could just use like the YouTube channel. They probably already have a playlist and everything.
I wonder. I wonder. It's actually so crazy. My retention for information is just so. The clarity is incredible. It's like an encyclopedia in my head if I actually care about what the fuck I'm learning, right? I don't even, because I was thinking about writing out notes. I've got Obsidian. I write notes, and I just haven't even been writing down notes, and I can pretty easily refer to the information I've learned. I mean, it's only 4 videos worth of information, but it's still, I'm pretty surprised that I've retained a fair bit of information. Well, I'm not surprised. No, that's the thing. But if it was something I didn't care about, subjects I didn't care about, which was most subjects, I just couldn't recall the information. Oh shit.
As long as you have control over what you get enjoyment out of when it comes to topics, I think that's probably a good strat.
You don't have any control. That's what I'm saying. Which sucks because it's just wow. I just didn't like anything. I like science. I like some things, but I so tuned out of school. So tuned out of school later on. So I was like, I don't give a fuck.
You were tuned out at school. Ooh, that's interesting. So it's like do you think it's the format in which you're getting the information? It has to be like the format and then the topic,
no,
or do you think it's
not
the topic and then the format?
It's not even specifically the format, because I can be in a very sanitized scenario, and if it's something I care about, I'm very enthusiastic about it. I think it's the relationship. If you can't imagine so I don't know if this was common when you were in school, but it was like, what do we need this for? We won't need E equals MC squared. That sort of line of thinking was very prevalent, especially in my head. It's like, we don't need this.
Unless you're doing something engineering with something like some sort of, I mean, in engineering, it is like, it definitely depends on what you're doing, though.
If I'm doing something to do with engineering, I'm definitely thinking the same thing. When I'm thinking about it's definitely if I could imagine the relationship, and then the second thing was enjoying it, then yeah, I think that's a key part of learning. So let's say with history, we're learning history. Why I found history, it's funny because it's like I guess I'm more known for liking history, but I never cared about history in school. I never give a shit about history. But the reason I got into nah, Trickies, I'm sorry. I'll be moaning if that happens to me.
Oh, I'm muted, fuck. I didn't realize I was muted the whole time in Discord, fuck. Dude, I literally cannot believe that I just got that fucked over that game. Like, that was so dog shit.
Did you die? What? Oh,
I mean, I was gonna quit the game anyway, but I just didn't get drops.
The way he died, bruh.
I was literally about to quit. Like, I was just like, fuck this. I'm 2 minutes slow. Don't have any ammo. Like, I had one more line of Betty's. But
what the fuck is your about me? What is your about me, bro?
Yeah.
What the
fuck? Yeah, off in Connecticut.
Yes, you don't remember that?
Was it like a Wings reference or some shit? Oh my god, that's wild. Yeah, I want to see that as fuck.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, what I was saying was the way I got into history was seeing the relationship between history and now, and how the sort of institutions, it was mainly like institutions. I'm actually very interested in the institutions in the political institutions that existed in the past, and then how they evolved into what they are now. It really gave me quite a different perspective. It was sort of like a foundational perspective.
Yeah, there's your relationship too. That's your relationship, because you can directly tie it into real world, like what you deal with today. I mean, when it comes to history, that's a huge like W point for people being interested in it. Is
point, Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
W. Yo,
you guys been on TikTok too much.
So I'm
saying. Hell yeah, brother. No, I have absolutely accepted the TikTok brain language. It's great.
Man, that's not even a
Fucking love it.
TikTok brain
So
brain
annoying. It's
language.
so
That's
I didn't
annoying.
realize Dank joined.
Holy
Yeah, I'm in here.
Golden.
Yeah.
Wait, huh?
Affirmed and Dank haven't said a word since they joined.
Yeah,
How long have
no,
they been
they
here?
don't. They don't.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up?
I don't know,
oh,
bro.
there
What
you
am
are,
I
Ferg.
supposed to say?
What's good? What's popping? What's your major? There's like what do you say? Definitely wasn't really into history either. I think it was mainly the system the school used to tech it. Like I think I brought up
That's
the
what everyone
C3
says, but
framework
you
thing.
gotta elaborate. Like system.
So whoa,
Why?
the
Alright, you
fuck
get
is that?
Oh, that's getting muted.
Yeah.
About to hear a
Yo, I
blade
loved
lyric or some
history in
shit.
school. I'm not gonna lie, that was like the subject I was interested in the most. But I just have a terrible memory for retaining that information for like historical stuff.
I mean, to give more context, I mean, I'm still like, maybe I just wasn't like, because there was a point in school I was like, yeah, fuck school. But like, I also lived in an extremely rural area in the deep south of the United States, so history was a really interesting thing to get into. like, mainly like, what do you say? A lot of specific
You
points were
can elaborate
focused.
on what systems you didn't like.
Okay, so the state standards, right, were extremely focused in elementary school, specifically about like I remember there was almost like a 2-month program about slavery, like which is a big thing. Like, it wasn't, but like you'd assume that would.
How old
Yeah,
were
like
you?
this is like elementary school, right? So like,
I don't know what
you know, I'm going
elementary
like,
school means. Please translate.
oh, it's like primary, like your first like
yeah,
few
but you
years
have
in school.
3 schools and we only have 2.
Fair. It'd be like the first years of the I don't know what it's called in the UK, but it'd be like the first years of schooling as a kid. So, you know, you're like ages
primary
like
school.
yeah, yep, primary, okay. Yeah. So it was everything was extremely politically engaged at the school I was at as well. For
When
instance,
you were 5?
yeah, oh yeah. So like my teacher, my 5th grade teacher for English and history was you know, at this point I think how old are you? Like 10? I think you're like 10 years old. She was a creationist biologist who did not believe that the Civil War was being taught correctly in her 70s. Okay. So like she had like it was extremely odd. Like the teachers were not like really going with the program itself, so they put in their own opinion on it. It was extremely like, I don't know, opinionated, very opinionated teaching.
You don't
And
have
instead
federal
of hearing,
federal curriculums, do you?
what do you mean by
Or is
federal?
that
It's state. It's state. It's all state.
state by
So
state,
yeah,
so yeah.
state rules. Yeah, they all have a similar structure, and there is some sort of like overarching what do you say, like rules with how the
But are
state
tests federal?
I think they're state as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
interesting.
think they're state as well. So yeah, it's all state by state.
Wait, I think. Where's the gumption? Let's look this up right now.
No, I don't want to be wrong with it, obviously, because I'm not. But I don't have the knowledge. Like, I'd have to look it up. Like, I think it's
state. Sorry, test standards, federal or state. Under every Student Succeed Acts ESSA, states must continue annual statewide test in reading, language, arts, and mathematics to all students 3 to 8, once in high school, as well as federal requirements for state assessments. So there are federal requirements. But do they actually determine the material inside?
I think that this like the state abides specific rule sets that are federally pushed over the public school systems, but when it comes to the there's a lot of variation depending on the state laws or requirements. So my history class, let's say I was in like New York, would be in 5th grade completely different. A lot of the time, mainly though, it's just like you're learning something in a different year. Let's say I was learning about like, I don't know, the 20s or the Great Depression in like 3rd year. In some places it's like it's in 5th year, right? Like they just kind of flip things around like history wise, because they have their own, they're all on different frameworks. A lot of it goes through the like I think on a federal level, a lot of it goes through the actual book publishers, the textbook publishers as well. So what do you say? Like they usually have like like Pearson and McGraw Hill are kind of the ones that are mainly contracted for most school systems in the United States. So those just change the reason they're different. They're the same company, but they make a majority of the books for all the states. So they have like variations of the book for said state. Yeah, just to give you like an idea how that works. I think if I was in a different area when I was younger, I would have more of an interest and less of a biased perception of learning history.
What do you mean by bias? The fuck?
Well, it goes down to because the teachers were this is like a personal thing, right? So I'm just pointing it out. Like the teachers that I had at the time were extremely opinionated on history as I lived in fucking Deliverance Tier, Georgia. So
why do you think that wouldn't apply like anywhere else?
It does apply everywhere, absolutely, yeah. But like, for my own personal interest, I think I would have like had more of I'd have more of a care for history if I lived in a different area. Like the place that I was in specifically was really heated when it came to specifically the Civil
War. And that turned you off,
right? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like nowadays I'm like, oh hell yeah, I want to hear that like opinion on it and kind of like make see others and compare them and that sort of thing. But like that's my only like way of seeing the history is through a teacher that's extremely biased. I think that kind of turned me off with it. Also, like, what's your opinion on
that she was biased? You were like aware of that?
It was like definitely, yeah. Absolutely. Well, it was like the way that she taught and the way that a few other like history teachers I had through like middle school taught was this idea that they go into the course pretty much just saying, hey, I this is history, right? I don't personally agree with what I am teaching you right now, but you're gonna look at it and know that these are the standards you need to get to the next grade. It wasn't like check this out. Like, it was like I don't.
So that's
I don't
what
agree
with
the
reluctant
for history.
A majority of specifically in history, yes, yeah, a lot of like Coach Parker as well. Yeah, there's literally like almost like 3 years straight is the same shit. So yeah, I think it was like having it in that light really made me like okay, what am I even learning this for? I guess just to get to another grade. It's not like do you have an interest in this? It's you must learn these things.
The teachers themselves. I get it.
I get
it. You're not being verbose. I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Just now, like if I came back to it, I'd probably be even more interested from hearing the bias on the area I'm learning from. But I'm sorry, I was like what, like 12. Yeah, now I'm like, now I'm older, but like when I was 12, bro, I just, it's like the effort or the effort of having interest in the course wasn't even there for the person teaching it. So like, why would I care? And also I'm 12, so fuck school in the first place. School sucks.
I was way more interested in school when I was 12 than when I was 15.
Same for me, actually.
I really liked music class. I was really into music class. I had a really good music teacher. I ended up getting in a band like right out of I guess you call it primary school. That's when you start having openings to go into band courses for electives. And I focused more on that than the I mean, I went more elective route than the like standardized shit like mathematics and what do you say, like history.
What was the video games course? That's what I'm talking about.
That did not pop up until I moved to California. I actually interned at a college and I was able to teach kids how to install Gmod onto pretty much anything. It was pretty awesome. Actually, it was really cool. I got to teach people how to like scrape websites, do like inventory. Anyway, it's really integrated now. Like at the time that, I mean, the internet was still kind of shitty in the like 2010s and there wasn't much like integration with IT until like I'd say like after Facebook and Twitter really blew up. Right, like those sorts of things blew up, and then the tech field, I hate saying the Silicon Valley meme, but like there wasn't many where I lived. When I moved over to California, though, I mean this is like 10 years later. It's pretty much like it's a ingrained thing in every single schooling system. They have some sort of like usually like a mathematics to tech pipeline. right? Through so
that's one thing I need to really. I don't know where to start, but my mathematics, I've basically evaporated everything from my brain. I just don't have any sort of rubric to understand anything that comes with any complex maths. But the thing is, that was like my best subject for a really long time, so I have no idea how that is now my. It's definitely my weakest subject in terms of if anyone's having a conversation with anything to do with mathematics, I just don't know anything. I just can't tell you anything about it. It's really weird. It's really fucked up. That was definitely one of those where I just didn't have any interesting teachers that made the subject really interesting. It was one of those like, okay, I'm copying down the equation, and I never did anything outside of school when it came to school. No homework. I never did any homework. I'd always get in trouble for that. It was always just gaming. But the subjects that I do have that I could actually recall information from on an encyclopedic level and remember like all the case studies, definitely geography. And I think it's probably because it was I think I have a very specific interest in terms of how a local society functions and how the institutions work in tandem with the social setting of the area. I think he was talking about I think the first conversation we had when we started VCing was about you should really look into sociology.
Yeah, definitely. Still puts that. Yep.
Yeah, you were talking about that. Geography was not exactly the same, but that was definitely a huge overlap in terms of what we were talking about and what we studied in geography. And geography was, to reiterate for the other people that one, geography isn't find countries on a map. I don't know what geography refers to in America, but it's not that in
No, we don't even have geography class in high school. I only took one, or at least in my state, I only took one geography class, and it was like one semester of my 7th grade year. But when I got to college, I took a geography class, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I'll just take it, I guess. But honestly, that was like one of my favorite classes.
It should be paired with
college or in
earth
7th
science.
grade, because 7th grade is just finding or talking about the state capitals and like remembering them, and it's just like really low tier stuff.
It's
But
a
in
very
the other
naive
geography,
way
it's more
of
about how
creating
like
a-
everything interacts with each other.
Sorry, my bad.
The importance of like how the physical environment affects everything around us, like even everything to do with politics and stuff, like how our physical environment. So how like southern states are more, I guess, like right leaning and stuff, and like why that is, stuff like that.
It's because I'm more rural. That's it.
Geography. I mean, I guess
we talked about. I mean, that's just like a small portion of it. No, we talked about a bunch of stuff in there. I would have to like, really think about it because I took that class a while ago, but
for sure.
I don't know why I did that. But...
Right. So when you say upsides, that's probably way closer to what we do in geography because we do plate tectonics and all the specific jargon to do with describing, the basalt sea plates will always submerge under the I forgot what minerals are or compounds, minerals, all that bullshit are inside the land plates. The sea plates always submerge, and all the different I think maybe there's 3 different ways plates interact. So there's like this case study San Andreas fault where it basically they're both stuck together, and then those are the scariest earthquakes because they'll release pressure because they're just rubbing against each other and they're building up the energy, and then they'll just release. And those earthquakes will be quite disastrous versus the other. I forgot all the. I would have to. I think if I looked at a textbook, I'd be like, okay, I can remember all the terms. I don't actually remember all the terms. But it's not only that. We didn't even learn that. It's like, okay, we learned about the mechanics of an earthquake. Okay, let's see the impact of an earthquake, and then we had to do case studies on I think we did Haiti. I think we did the 2011 quakes. We did the case study on that, and we had to talk about all the social impacts. We had to talk about the mechanics first. Obviously, I described the first part of the mechanics, but then it's like aftershocks, and then how the aftershocks affected like the I guess like the day zero or whatever, like day one, like first minute of impact. It's like how was life there? What was the like what are the people thinking, and what ways do their education system and the structure of their buildings, how how are those designed in order to keep the civilians safe? And then we did a first world country like Japan, and
Yeah, we took about that too.
And how Japan has specific structures and safety protocols that students will know from a very early age in order to ensure everyone's safety. And we were basically juxtaposing the third world Haiti versus the first world
geographics versus geopolitics. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I mean, it's kind of, you gotta look at both.
It was very, very, very interesting. That was definitely, it's actually weird because I didn't do anything like that until in geography. I didn't do anything like that. I'm looking at it retrospectively, but it's like, wow, that's like really interesting that I just have an interest for all those things now, but I actually also have a very vivid recollection of what I did in a class that basically taught me basically was doing the same thing as I do now, where it's basically now it's like, okay, there's an area in the world, and it's like, okay, well, you have to, if you want to understand a conflict or anything like that, or what's going on in a certain part of the world, you need to understand the history, the mechanics behind the different physical elements of the geography, all that, blah blah blah. Depending on what area you're looking at, is a really good rubric to go down in order to, if you want to fully understand something that's foreign.
I mean, like, yeah, freaking. It's just also. Did you ever get into like one of my favorite arguments with like when it comes to natural disasters and whatnot, when it goes into geography, specifically earthquakes and everything? Like a lot of people are like, why don't they just move? Like that's like one of my favorite. Like, why don't the people from Haiti just move? It's also something you hear a lot in like just general geopolitics. Like, well, if if that happens there, why don't they just move? And as well as like why were the buildings like made like that? It's pretty much like a, what do you call it?
It basically answers itself. It's if you learn the material, you'll never ask that question. It's not something that I even contemplated, but I know how to answer that question. It's it's very economic based, where, oh wow, why don't they have buildings constructed
of concrete versus like what do you say, like steel rods or something?
Yeah.
What was the feasibility of that side of the area, and like what?
Oh yeah.
Where are
yeah,
they importing it? It goes back into markets too.
But it's not even that. You're on like a third layer of the onion. The first layer of the onion is just the economics. Haiti versus Japan.
Oh yeah, first world versus third world.
It's not even it's not even close. They're not going to be able, just getting the engineers to be able to construct, and then also a government that gives a shit too. It's like having a super corrupt government that isn't that doesn't have the motivations to, there is no symbiosis between keeping their civilians alive and what they want. If there's no symbiosis there, then obviously things are not going to be very good, versus Japan, where there is a symbiosis there. So step one, that is basically step one. But yeah, that's not even a question that
you can go into so many different like areas of study with Earth science. Actually, it's wild. I mean, we're all on the planet normally, unless we're in space. So a lot of things stem from like as you said, first layer of the onion is definitely like why does it act like this? And then it's like why is the planet the way it is? Like what is going on with it? And then you're like, what are we doing on this area? Yeah. Fucking forget there's like a 1 second. I remember seeing a spider web like graph of this shit actually. Let me see if I can find it. That's cool. So like you really like geography though. Like you find yourself in, do you think you'll ever like take any courses on that, or see, like there are people like that do geographic surveys as like an actual job and position that some people do for careers?
I don't know.
I was talking about this with Mirage actually, like 2 days ago. There's a agency called the USGS that they're really I fuck with. Literally, all they do is just take surveys of all the areas of the planet they're able to, but specifically like obviously the main focus they have is like areas where there are fault lines and like volcanoes. Really cool. Like specifically, like they have a bunch of a lot of coverage of like Yellowstone right now. A few places in Hawaii. I forget the name of the volcano, but cool ass job. All you do, you just literally explore the world. Like you just go all over the fucking world and just take pictures of shit and then make like charts and graphs out of like the probability of some sort of like some disaster. Like you're pretty much ranking the probability of disaster in a certain area. And it doesn't really go into the like what do you say, they do like deal with like a bit of geopolitics, like they do keep that as a factor, but it's mainly just scientific surveys on the actual land itself. And instead of going like, well, anyway, I think it'd be better for me just to link like a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel that's super cool. They link they're a government agency that have ASMR videos. So it's kind of wild. Yeah, they have ASMR videos for relaxation. Because they have cameras on pretty much every sauna or hot spring, volcano, naturally occurring event, constantly. They just have cameras on it constantly. So what they did, they have so much data that they can just make entertainment out of it at this point. They can just go, oh yeah, here's an hour of a sauna. You can hear it. Here it is. Here you go. Yeah, this is ASMR for technically. It's pretty cool. Cool career to get into, like really cool ass career. Did ever get into like the way energy, like what do you call it, like electricity, like wires are transferred? I know it's kind of nichey, but like what do you say, like the world power grid and how that's like correlated with the way that like specific areas exist like geographically. That's also a really neat niche thing. I don't know. It's kind of cool. For instance, in like a lot of them are made through, like you're saying, like third and first world countries. A really good example is like the Middle East, the way their power grid works, and the way that it's siphoned through like specific countries for both like like money and geopolitical reasons, and just the way that the area is made, it exists. I actually have an example of this. 1 second. You can fucking forever to load, bro.
Oh, since you're West Coast. Alright, that's nice.
I'm here. What did you say? Central West Coast? No, Middle East. Middle East.
No, I said since you're West Coast.
Oh, since I'm West Coast. Sorry, they said Central West Coast.
Central West Coast. Yes. I said since you're West Coast, big city. What is your any stance on houses in terms of?
When you say Central West Coast, do you mean like?
I don't mean central. Like, I said since.
Since the West Coast. Oh, please repeat the question. I'm like in the fucking.
Since you're on the West Coast, big city. What is your opinion on home construction? I know a lot of West Coast.
Oh my goodness. West Coast, a lot of it is considered historical. So you have specific areas that just were with urbanization, you have a bunch of really quickly built apartment complexes here. A lot of the houses or homes at this point can be considered historical, and because of that, like you have a lot of I can go into like what they're made of, how fast they're made, and like their vulnerability of like some sort of thing happening, like how like what's the right word, stable long term the housing project will work. Because in the I guess East Coast where I lived, a lot of the land was kind of split up through specific properties, as there's a really low population area. So it's really and a lot of it also is protected, where I live specifically, protected by the government, like natural forests and whatnot. For instance, the county that I lived in Georgia was 70% national. Natural forestry, which you can't do anything with, right? Like it can't be. It maybe if there's some passing, like if the urbanization gets really big over there, they might, like take a little bit of that area and allow housing development in it, or building development or ownership, like corporate or private ownership of it. But literally 70% of the county was natural forests that were like completely just like not, you cannot like build anything on it. So the areas that people lived, you'd think they'd be really congested because of the population being so low. The 30% was like, you still see people with like 50 acres of property in White County, right? Even though they only have like 30% of only 30% of the county could be privately owned. There was only like, I think it was like 7,000. It might have gone up. It's somewhere in the range of like 7,000 to like 13,000 people in the county. And if I remember, it's like 30 square miles or 50 square miles or something. So like, 30 square miles. So it's a huge area, not many people in it. A lot of it's natural forestry. I get an idea for where I'm from. Now I'm here and I'm looking at like an extremely dense population area where most things are owned by the corporations. Like, and in the areas, I'm kind of saying like, what, I don't know. It's like I'm seeing like I came from a proto version of where I am now. It's like I kind of like time traveled 100 years in the future with like population growth.
You don't own your own house?
No, of course not. Yeah, no, it's not like it's very rare that you'll find people. And what's also interesting with where I live now is because of inflation, the people that did own homes are usually in mortgage debt. They usually have to sell their mortgage to keep up with payments or something. So like a lot of them are they own it, but the bank low-key owns it at the same time. You know what I mean? So like ownership's a really vague term in areas like I don't know, like Washington, cities in Washington or California. Extremely vague. A lot of the time it ends up just going to corporate and like a bank or something. So yeah, house ownership's almost non-existent. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really you don't see it too often. Extremely rare to see people own property. It's usually just uber wealthy, or they somehow have it as a historical spot or something. As I was saying earlier, a lot of it's weird because then you see like the structures of the historical areas. You brought up the San Andreas Fault earlier. To mix those two together, a lot of those were made in like with bricks. So like that's like the worst thing that you could ever build with, outside of just straight up like concrete or fucking cardboard to like have a place to sustain any sort of like earthquake or tsunami, you name it. It's just bad. It's not good. There's a reason we don't use brick anymore, really. So like I don't know. I think I put it pretty well there. Like it's like if I time traveled 100 years in the future from where I lived, if it just blew up out of nowhere, like a bunch of people moved to it. Like there's still technically national forestry here, a lot of it, but
would you think of the way the city is constructed in terms of biggest complaint I hear about? I guess like the neo build more housing movement, whatever you want to call it, YIMBYs. Yes, in my backyard, they always complain about the zoning laws and how they're very strict in America. Well, it's like
absolutely. Well, over here, yes. Over in Georgia, I could build whatever the fuck I wanted where I lived, as long as I own the property rights. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm not making a nuclear reactor. You can build a shop
where your boundaries
are. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can make a shop. Even in Augusta, which is one of the bigger cities in Georgia, I could easily make a business out of it, like a home business. Like that's it's similar here too, and but it does depend on like zoning laws. Yeah, you can build you said shop.
Yeah,
shop, like a you could in Seattle as well. The zoning laws are kind of a bitch, though, depending on where you're at. But they also change frequently. That's a really big thing. They change frequently,
Really?
so if you're gonna have a, yeah, they do change a lot, depending on like
How does
how
that
businesses
work then?
work.
If I build a shop and then I just get fucked over, it's like, oh, I can't have my shop anymore. Like, how drastic are these changes?
It depends on where. Like, if you were to, let's say, okay, what you'll see a lot of the time, instead of it being like you can't be here anymore, it's BlackRock or Vanguard buying the entire like fucking mile radius of where you live. You know, like it's usually a bigger fish coming in, and just like if you're gonna deal with business, you'll like I mean even like pretty like S&P 500 level companies, when it comes to things like BlackRock and whatever, like even they just submit. They're like, yep, here, just take a lot of the S&P 500 what do you say, like CEOs are also part of the chair in some way of these big property asset management companies. So it's in their interest regardless, like for if BlackRock wants to come in and take a property they have, for them to just go, yeah, fuck it. And like for instance, like in Westlake, the area of Westlake in Seattle, BlackRock acquired the pretty much the entire road of Westlake. They own a lot of the cancer care centers, and they lease out to a lot of medical facilities. It's also the one of the headquarters of Nordisk and the Allen Institute, if you know what that is. And like they have their hand really tied into pretty much every market you'd imagine, specifically healthcare. So they bought out the entire, like pretty much the entire road of Westlake back in 2022, or they acquired it. So nice term. But so if you're just a small company, it's an area. It's like one of the areas in Seattle. It's like kind of a tech area of Seattle, to put it like. It's like where a lot of tech companies are at. It's like I just look up Westlake, honestly. They'll do you better than me trying to explain it.
Right. Okay.
But let's say you're now assume you had a place in Westlake, right? And the only way that you really are going to have a place there, because of how big the population is and how much money is going in and out of it, is if it is considered an historical like housing thing, right? I forget the right term for it, but if you're like what property you own and the thing on it is considered historical, which I think it has to be like at least like 70 to like 100 years old or something for that.
On that tangent.
Well, if you're gonna it's impossible to make a business in this area regardless. Better yet, have housing in it that isn't from like an apartment. Like, you're not gonna be able to own property there unless you're uber rich. Like, it's just what I'm saying. Even if you were able to through some weird loophole and like something like that, the second that a bigger company comes in, the way they see like specific or acquire specific areas is usually like, instead of it being like a specific like building, they'll just buy an entire like multiple lots of properties from like that area. Ouch. So it's like near impossible to live in, better yet have a business in there. Instead, what happens is it gets kind of like like this is where you get the zoning, is all of it's already set up kind of like where Ballard, which is I think it's like kind of southern east, I don't know if I'm right here, southern east of Westlake. That's kind of the shopping area and housing area, and then you have like Westlake, which is kind of the business currently tech area, outside of like a few others like downtown, like CD and Pioneer, which are two like downtown zones. It's like where the Space Needle is. Yeah.
I don't even know where you're going. I'm so lost. You just
well, you asked me if like could you make a business in your house, right? And you brought it up through like me living on the West Coast. And when I'm assuming you want me to compare it from where I lived, where you could technically just have property and then make a business out of it, which like the viability of that where I live is way bigger than like where I'm at. Like, I don't know. I'm not really sure what you're asking, but that's yeah.
I just like, what did you want? If the zoning laws allowed you to do that, not fucking buying houses.
Yes, they allow you to do it, but it's not really the laws that are nitpicky, it's the amount of business in the area. So the zoning laws it depends also if it's like a residential area, like
I know.
What do you say, like yeah, okay.
I'm saying if because it's a house, it's gonna be residential, and can I make my house into a shop? And you're saying yes?
technically, depending on where it is, like, yeah.
Technically, the most nonsense word I think I've heard. All these nonsense words.
Wait, what are we going on about?
I'm saying, can you build a shop if I'm living in a residential area? If I got a house, can I build a shop? I turn it into a fucking mini mart. So I'm asking him.
Man, that's really dependent on probably local laws. Like, you would probably have to go to council about that and get that approved. I think it's possible because I know like in like the college town that I went to, there's this vape shop that I used to go to, and it was really ran out of like this old couple's house. Like they had a storefront integrated in their house.
Tight.
Yeah, as long as it's under the Seattle municipal code, like it's fair. Like obviously you can't make like a theme park or something, but like you can make like a small business if you really wanted to in your housing area. Like if you have a house and own the property, regardless, like most areas of Seattle and that of Washington are like that.
Yeah, I don't know much about Seattle.
There's also a community thing. There's also a community thing. So if let's say like you do that, and let's say I don't know, you're making I guess a really good example would be like concert areas, like stadiums and concert areas. If you're making like a nuisance with your shop, which is extremely vague, there are very vague rules on what is considered a nuisance or not. Essentially, if you just get enough people complaining about you having a vape shop, and it could be like just like the traffic, you're disrupting traffic flow or something in a specific residential area, then regardless of it being under the Seattle Municipal Code, you can have they can just say you can't do it, right? And usually after that, that's where you start getting the like serious residential zoning laws. If this happens enough in a specific area, then they'll just make it to where you can't have a business there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not good. Don't want to get those complaints. Our laws are super localized, super local. I mean, it's by street. It's the rules of the street. So if your street, so if you move to a different street, it's like you actually have to approve from everyone on the street. It's really strange. There's no. It's very structureless. I don't know how I feel about that. My instinct is not good because if you want to do a city-wide policy, you can't really do that.
It's like with specific with the areas that I've been on the West Coast, it seems like it's gotten to the point where a lot of it's already zoned through the corporations owning a majority of the property. So there's really no way for like it's more of like big fish, smaller fish when it comes to businesses. Like it's like you do have like housing areas, but they're usually like contractual like apartment complexes. Like they're not you can't own the property. The property is already owned by a really big corporation, and that's kind of how it is. Like you have your like really scattered too. It's really like there isn't really like what do you say, like this zone, like this place is where you live, this place is where you work. It's really like scatter plotted where you just have like little zone A like Ballard that you have like residential, like a residential area with, and then you have like next to it like a Fremont or Westlake or something that it's already bought out pretty much by huge ass property asset companies. So that's how it's like really weird how that like usually it's from one big company are like making like a move and buying like a few areas, and then other companies that compete with them going in the same area and just kind of kicking out and buying off everything. For instance, like with Google and what do you say, Facebook, those two compete a bunch with property areas. So Apple as well. Apple also does this, where if one company buys an area for a headquarters, then the other will do the same thing, as it gives a higher pull of like cross employment. If that makes any sense. like on the same road on Westlake, there's a Google headquarters, a Facebook headquarters, an Apple headquarters, and an Adobe headquarters in the same mile radius. Like they're all in the same area. Yep. And then outside of that, you have like what already kind of existed because of UW Medicine. You have just a bunch of like different hospitals and medical facilities.
I think this whole conversation was you just wanting to talk about this fucking one road that exists in Seattle.
Sure, yeah, probably is. Probably this is my only like. I don't. I have a very limited knowledge of other.
This is what you wanted to really talk about.
Yeah, I don't know other areas really, right? Like I haven't been to the Midwest. I don't really understand like East Coast metropolitan areas that well. So, you know. Yeah, I do know a little bit about how it works in Seattle, though.
This one road. Everyone, you just want to move to this one road. Seems like you're jealous of Google, Adobe.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck Adobe.
They're also powerless to BlackRock, though. So like it's like a bigger fish eating the small fish. This eating a small fish.
To BlackRock?
Because BlackRock is amazing, like freaking huge company, like massive fucking company. It will just acquire they'll just acquire like entire, like as I said earlier. I'm repeating myself here.
Yeah, but why does Google care?
Because the amount of money that BlackRock can use to acquire a place they want is insane compared to what Google and Facebook have. They're pretty much a suck and loss thing going.
Acquire places.
Absolutely, yeah. All of these tech companies, competition through employment. Like, so it's much easier for like them to get people with already credentials and like I don't know, specifically software devs and whatnot, if they move to where other like companies are. Like it's just it's like having like if you get to put it on a mic.
That's the philosophy of the city.
It's like McDonald's versus like So you're like McDonald's versus like Burger King, for instance. You know, it's easy peasy. You know, you just get one, the other pops up.
I know the footnote. All right, we got it. Carry on. Actually, we're gonna take this.
Yeah, go do that. I'm gonna get another drink.
All right. Back.
Yo.
Oh shit. I just have a feeling that he just wanted to talk about that one road in Seattle. Like Google
What makes you
live.
think that?
I'm just talking about, can I build a mini mart in this house? And then he starts talking in a residential area, and then he's like talking about BlackRock, Google, and the wars between them, and historical places. Historical, would you call it? If your house is considered historical or whatnot. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's not. I wanted to have a conversation. I didn't want to hear a Wikipedia article. Talk to me. Jesus Christ. So I bet what I think has happened is, you know, when somebody likes something and then they want to interject it into something that they've seen. So let's say, wow, free rent is actually the melancholy of Western society. It's like, what? What are you talking about? You know, that one comment you saw?
Yeah.
It's like, that's what he's doing right now. He's inserting another topic that's tangential, barely tangential. Really wanna, I didn't want that conversation to go in that direction. He's like the guy that when you tell him to write an essay, he comes back to you with a 14-page MAL review. That's what he does. That's what he does. I'm like, come on, man. Why did you do that? I only asked you how Twitch.tv works. And I asked you to write a fucking 14-page dossier of like all the fucking financial backers of Twitch.tv and like their top 50 list of streamers and where their income sources come from, and if they have an OnlyFans. I didn't need to know all of those facts. I just wanted to know how Twitch works.
You cut out?
I said it's like a teacher asks you to write a essay on how Twitch.tv works, and Wonder would come back with a 14-page dossier.
Oh wait, I'm here. I can hear you. Yeah, my bad. I think I just misinterpreted it. Yeah, I'll take the L, bro. My bad.
He would come back with a 14-page dossier of, you know, all the financial backers of all the top 50 streamers and all their income sources and if they have an OnlyFans or not. And it's just like, bro, I just wanted to know how to navigate the website. That's really it.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I think I just misinterpreted what you're saying, and I'm not gonna lie. I am very, very interested in how that the specific road has been like I've seen it in real time, so I definitely kind of rambled off about that. My
I told you, man. I told you that was why.
Shite. Also, I don't have much knowledge outside. Yeah, no. I mean, you're probably right, man. My bad. My bad, Obi. Fuck.
Dude, that Fruiting guy had to be like the funniest comment I've ever got on a YouTube video. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's definitely one of the funniest comments I've ever seen.
Nah. I think the best one was, that's not what Himmel the Hero would do. Looks like you didn't learn anything from free run. Wild stuff, man.
Oh yeah, and like something about Edward Elric. Like, what? I don't even know where you got that from. It was like so random.
Elric, man.
Where do these people come from? Are they just MAL people, or like?
Yeah,
I don't really know.
On my YouTube video.
And they found that review from your MAL review, man. They're like, who is this trickies guy? No way that brain rot exists on YouTube. That's a special type of MAL brain rot.
Man, I don't know. You haven't seen Fantano comment section yet?
Oh, I forgot about that guy. My favorite.
I guess you see him firsthand with Galactic, but
yeah. Wait, what did you say? Looks like somebody else in here had an opinion. We need a second opinion.
That was a Warzone, bro. That shit's a Warzone. Ugh.
What?
It's like rate your music. Rate your music. If you wanna go music with it, bro, rate your music is like, oh my, fucking cancerous.
What is that?
It's a great website to review and document what you enjoy and have conversations about it, but there's it gets similar to MAL really quickly.
I guess I'm not surprised. That's just how that stuff is.
Yeah.
I mean, I use that website. I just don't interact with anybody on it.
So yeah, that's how I usually use websites. That's how I use Twitter. I don't interact with anyone. I don't see a reason to interact with anyone. Same. I rarely ever comment on YouTube. Twitch is the only site that I've fully gone on to like feud wars with on on somebody else. I never feuded with anyone on these other websites but Twitch, like the general social media websites. Obviously, I've used Discord.
Yeah, I don't even use Twitter. Fuck that shit. I literally uninstalled it from my phone like a few months ago, just straight up. But
yeah, because he didn't want to get
because I wanted to post my video.
To post.
Wait, why? What were you saying?
I said you don't want to look like you have a porn app on your phone because that's what it looks like now. Fucking X. Elon Musk lost his marbles, man. What the fuck?
Man, I missed the fucking blue bird. Like
that's what
that was like the last
insane.
Straw.
Yeah.
Having that ugly ass logo on my phone, I'm like, I don't even want this shit anymore.
He's just flexing that he owns he was part of the .com bubble. That's literally what he's saying. He's like, oh yeah, I was just part of the .com bubble. Well, like he had an X forever.
Domain off the 2 decades.
Bro, yeah, fucking wild. He was it for PayPal at one point too, which is funny. Like it's the same shit.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure he suggested that they use it, and then they were like, "This guy's lost his marbles. We don't want to be a porn website." X.com. Yeah, that guy definitely. Oh my god, the bot problem wasn't that one of the impetus, one of his reasons for him to acquire the website was the bot problem, but it's so much worse. I didn't even notice a bot problem on my end on a micro level. I don't know. I don't know about macro level, but now I've got 684 followers, and I had 590 from the start of the year. And 590, I sat on 590 for a very long time. It was like 580, 590, and now it's up 100 followers in 4 months.
We kept bringing it up, so people that didn't realize they could botnet Twitter, which now they just know it's already an issue. So I mean, if you use that as one of your bigger reasons to like get a platform, like I'm trying to resist it, it's like you're just making a negative feedback by listing a problem like bots, especially going on top of it with freedom of speech. Holy crap! Like it's just a fucking recipe for failure.
I don't even know.
What about bot rights? They have freedom of speech, right?
Come on. I don't know. I don't know about the freedom of speech thing because it's just so it's just like what has changed about the website. But seriously, like what can I say now on
thing.
What can I say now that I couldn't say before? that's what I don't understand. It's this vague notion. This is my hypothesis. When it comes to this freedom of speech stuff, it's a very noble goal, but once he realized that, like, oh fuck, now I have to manage this social media application in multiple different countries, he basically just he moderated his position. When it came to the Turkey government. They want to ban Erdogan wants to ban his opposition from advertising, and on Twitter he just basically conceded without even taking it to court or anything. He didn't try and defend, like an election too. An important election is like, oh, he didn't try and defend. He didn't try to take it to court. He's just like, oh, okay, no. I'll remove your oppositions off the website. It's just like, what? You don't care about freedom of speech, especially when it comes to elections. That's an aesthetic that you've sort of applied onto yourself in order to, I don't know. Either that's an aesthetic. I mean, it is an aesthetic in application, but in terms of, I wonder how he sees it. Does he really see himself as a champion of freedom of speech? Or does he? Is he just
going through that man's head?
Yeah,
definitely grifting, but like, yeah, no. My favorite with Elon is the boring company.
I don't think he's a grifter. I think he's fully real.
Do you keep up with the boring company at all?
I know quite a bit about that. Well, I mean, you already talked.
I think we already talked about, yeah,
referenced it,
that's
yeah.
like, I focus like the boring company because that's either it's gonna be a huge loss for him, and he's just kind of keeping it around right now. It is my opinion. There is like private, like what do you say? There's private uh transportation systems currently like going through like Florida and shit. But nothing on the scale that he had planned. I mean,
Oh
just like,
yeah,
I want to go to more
the
shit.
animation was so much bigger in scale compared to what he has now in Las Vegas. The little shitty Teslas running at 10 miles per hour. I don't think it's that slow. It's like 30 probably, maybe 30 miles per hour in the little LED tunnels, looking like a fucking Razer Gaming 2014 setup.
LEDs.
That's what it is. It looks so tacky. If you have an LED setups for the people that haven't seriously considered aesthetic and just put a fucking keyboard and it's like, okay, I'll just go with this. It's not a well thought out aesthetic at all. It's the hive mind. It really is. It's basically a cultural thing. It's like, oh, everyone has this, so I'm doing it, and also have a peripheral that also just glows like a little fucking glow in the dark dildo. So
yeah, it's literally a shiny object. Like it's shiny. This one's shiny. I like it. Like it's shiny. I don't know. It's so
it's
weird.
tacky and stupid. Fucking hell. I just like the classic, like fucking mahogany Cockabello desk. Fucking something nice. Vintage. Something that shows that you have some independence from whatever the fuck you're looking at. When all of gaming culture has been subsumed into LED lights and that's what everyone's setup looks like now, I'm sorry. That's so fucking boring. Have some individuality, please.
Very oversaturated, man. Super oversaturated.
True. But then gamers will have like their own aesthetics, like, oh yeah, I got my own fucking Discord icon and fucking bought Discord Nitro so I can have my own custom emotes. Gamers are in the digital world, so they don't care about what's going on outside. They're like, oh fuck it, LEDs, and my keyboard has LEDs. My fucking RAM sticks came with LEDs. Nah. How is that not a fucking parody? I would have thought about that in 2005 if I was old enough. Like, oh, you know what? They're gonna do RAM sticks with LEDs now that they're doing fucking keyboards and cases. What the fuck? And I bought like really when I upgraded from DDR3 to DDR4, I bought like these nice red metallic RAM sticks, Corsair engines. Not fucking, I got my fucking Asus Strix fucking LED RAM. I actually have an LED keyboard, obviously a keyboard. I mean the motherboard is LED. Fucking hell. What a disaster for aesthetics. The worst. I forgot what we were talking about originally.
Happy. Oh, I don't even fucking remember. Honestly, I think it's segue from me rambling about Westlake to going into Twitter being ass, and then we started talking about oversaturation of aesthetics in the fucking gaming market or computing market.
Twitter is honestly, yeah, I like the site. I like going on it, and I just follow a bunch of artists, and that's most of my timeline. And that's what I engage with. I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna, save a bunch of pictures because they look really aesthetic and cool. That's my engagement with Twitter. I feel like when people say they hate Twitter, they're conceptualizing a very specific, in a very specific way of using Twitter that they probably don't even use it that way. It's like, fuck, I hate the really bad discussions that happen on Twitter. It's like, bro, you don't even fucking tweet. What the fuck? You don't have to interact. You don't have to use Twitter in terms of, let's fucking argue about some random bullshit that I shouldn't probably be arguing about that I know nothing about. Because I know nothing about it. But it's really fun.
Really good entry into politics, though, gotta be honest, and pretty much spam with it. Well, it's good. It's great. You get to see the worst fucking arguments ever. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What?
Plug into politics. He's the stupidest arguments on the planet. I mean, he's pretty much forced to. Pretty cool.
The worst thing about following artists is that they also get political, and seeing the average citizen talk about politics is like, I feel like I'm really illiterate when it comes to politics. It's like I already just told you now. I'm learning how the structure of our government.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm basically every day I'm doing 2 hours. 2 hours of material a day, right, until I get through this whole playlist, and I think that's more than most people do, and that's really sad. The gumption incredibly low when it comes to, okay, what are the branches of our government? How do they interact? When did these institutions get founded? What is the evolution of the institutions that exist? It's like, if you don't know any of this, why are you commenting on anything? I don't understand. Why do you have a strong opinion or a strong opinion anyway? You can comment on shit that you see around you. You don't have to know like the anything on a molecular level to understand how water gets in your cup. It's like, what compound is water? H2O? You don't need to know that to have an opinion on water. But I think the just seeing people talk about politics in art, it's just so low tier. There was this one where it was like, I felt so sorry for this person. It's just like, you've been destroyed by the internet. It was like, guys, I just can't take it anymore. I just feel like a really bad person. I have to mute all the Palestinian Twitter accounts because I just can't look at the genocide anymore. It's just so heartbreaking, and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, how are you? What is your engagement with politics that you're having a fucking heart attack, being in your fucking first world country, sitting there and thinking, fuck, I'm looking at the Israel-Palestine conflict and you're getting traumatized. Like, you in your own house, very privileged, and you're getting traumatized. I'm sorry. That is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. Maybe it's a low empathy from somebody that's never been in that situation, that I've never cared about something so much. But if you're in a position where you're getting traumatized by something and you feel like a bad person for averting your gaze because your mental health is suffering, you have a fucking problem. And I think the conversations on Twitter and the system that makes you believe that you're immoral for not looking at a conflict that is already the most talked about conflict relative to even the damage done in that conflict. There's more horrendous conflicts going on right now that people are not even paying attention to. How the fuck are you feeling like you're immoral? That's ridiculous. And there's a system that creates those people that is stupid. That's a bad engagement.
Do you think that these types of people, it's their first exposure to that sort of it's like their first-hand experience, like their first experience with dealing with something like a genocide? Like, that's probably what it ends up being most of the time. Like, with people that get like have that like a high empathy, like, oh, oh my God. You're like, really, well, I mean, empathetic towards very specific things that do not relate to them through social media, right? Like, do you think it's probably the like first time seeing anything like that, outside of like?
I think it's just low gumption. I think it's how no, seriously, it is right. It is right because then I'm just gonna relate this to like fucking MAGA in 2020 when they're saying, oh, the election is stolen. It's like, how do you know it's stolen? Because I saw a video. And now they're super emotional and distressed about it. And now they're congregating at the Capitol because they actually think it's stolen. And this is the thing, right? And then I'll relate it back to this artist. And isn't it the same thing? It's like, how do you know this shit is going on? First of all, just because you saw it on your timeline, how do you know? Seriously, how do you know anything is happening right now? What is the basic epistemological foundation in order to know how something is happening around you? You have to go and look into it. But instead, you're getting filled trauma, clips of something happening, and you think that's political engagement? You think you're engaging with something, and you think you're immoral for not looking at it? That's not engagement. You're not engaging with anything. You're engaging with fucking pornography. That's and then think about it, right?
Very
Think
part
about
of
how
are you talking about this? Like, literally. Like, what?
think about how susceptible you are to getting your mind completely flipped if you're low gumption, right? Somebody could easily convince you of dumb shit that isn't real because you are not going out of your way to be like, okay, I got my foot in the door. I know something is bad happening. Something bad is happening here. Okay, let me go and explore what is happening. Oh no, I'm just gonna watch a bunch of fucking TikToks and YouTube short videos of bullshit and now informed. That's not being informed. That's not caring. That's you being a fucking idiot and a tool. And everyone's gonna become a tool. That's the thing. I say everyone, but a lot of people are just going to become tools for whatever the fuck. Because how do you know what you're supporting is correct and is actually real and it's actually happening? You don't know. So you can completely be an easily fooled. And you just go back and look at, let's say, I already used MAGA as an example. I used like a left-wing example. Look at BLM and fucking Chaz. Look how they were making a fucking commune at Capitol Hill. After you left yesterday, the last time we talked about Chaz, I went and looked it up. And
I told you to, yeah.
Commune farming.
Yeah, they did farming. I mean, maybe one day I'll come in here and just show you the area because it's still there and there's still like what's really cool. But I mean, this is like localization.
I know the scars are still there because I was watching an interview of one mechanic guy that moved out and there was footage of the gate being stormed and his business being burnt. I'm sorry, what? That's BLM? At least I say that's BLM. That's what an aspect of BLM got turned into in a major population center. That's really worrying because that's low gumption. It seriously is, because think about it, right? So let's go from step one. What do we want? We want police reform. So what we're going to do is, how did we get into police reform to burning down a building? No, seriously, why would you go and do that? Why is that a good Why do you think that's a good cause? Why do you think
really simple anarchist activism? That's all. That's it. That's the thing. It's like they don't. Instead of thinking, well, maybe the routes could be maybe going to like your local, representatives, specifically like getting them to talk about like how the training of police officers is like through specific factors that lean towards them incriminating people off of profiling. There's like a legal, very very normal non-monkey routes to do this, and there's just like I don't even think these work. I'm just gonna fucking like I gotta make a message, which usually just ends up with more militarization of the police, which is hilarious, or the absence of them in general.
Because everybody else in society is like, oh, that's the casus belli for increased militarization, because everyone sees this group of crazies are doing. They've swung the pendulum so far in the other direction that other people now are basically want the opposite of your cause. What a bad way of consensus building. And that's the thing, you turn into tools, because where does this come from? This doesn't come from people that are high gumption, that know how the process works, that knows how their institutions are structured so they know how they can make a change. No, what they do is do this fucking crazy shit that turns everyone against them. It's ridiculous. And that's low gumption, that's the social media brain rot, and you turn into a tool of nothing. It's so stupid.
Like, I think like Babby's first political experience most of the time, it's like,
yeah, isn't that really bad?
Yeah,
isn't that really bad that your first political experience is, well, it's I don't even know if you should. I don't even care what first political, if it's your first or if it's your 19th. It's the fact that it's aesthetics.
It was a fucking failure in general, regardless, right? And it's usually those people that when you bring up people being used as tools, it's really interesting because like the first like, I mean, a lot of this is like their first like like introduction to like the arguments of police reform or something, right? So like they probably had no idea about it until it, like, you know, it's like it's like easily you can be made into a tool. It's just you're like it's literally tainting the water, like is I guess a way of putting it. Like you're just straight up like tainting the water with these sorts of movements. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing I'm worried about is there's a system in place now with social media and the way the algorithms work that I don't think it is just going to be baby's first steps. I think it's people that are in these systems are going to think that this is how it's meant to be done, and this is not. Maybe they learn, you know, maybe they're, oh, okay, you know, my actual movement, you know, didn't work out. What I'm worried is that the systems in place also create a epistemic bubble, or even worse, a echo chamber where you see everyone else as the out group, and there is no room for coalition building with people that are not ideologically pure, aka fully 100% on your side.
Accrued exposure pipeline. Yeah, it's like a accrued exposure of a specific thing. You know, like especially with social media. Like yeah, it's like a accrued exposure of a specific pipeline. You know, so if like I don't know, it's really I there's a lot of debate on like the control of AI generated recommendations as well. And I think like it's a huge like debate topic when it comes to, like, how should those be moderated. And you have things like trying to push freedom of expression and speech, like at least assuming that's the idea with X, you know, in some way. Like, you know, what is it like, are you compressing that? Are you like limiting that by controlling the way the website works? Or does it just, if it doesn't give you, like, if it doesn't give you, if you're having to be recommended the things in the first place, then you're already limiting the exposure the person has to whatever topic is being like given to them, right? So like if I was I don't know, like if I was recommended something about bees dying, you know, like just a random shit like bees dying, you know, and some like eco activism bit, right? And instead of it being like the, you know, the actual understanding of like bees, right? And it's just like a specific, like I don't know, it's really easy to get like a topic like that, and then it's just algorithmically generated towards a pipeline of a political stance without any knowledge of it. It's easy radicalization, like there's easy radicalization through that. So yeah, even stuff simple like
radicalization.
Oh, what's up? Automated as well. It's automated for sure.
Yeah, but do you think there's increased radicalization?
That's I don't even know if I can answer that. I mean I don't know. I don't know. I have to live for like the entirety of the internet existing. I mean, do you mean through the internet or just through like just in general?
Well, I'm not talking about through the internet. That would be the process of how it could happen. I'm just saying. In society, do you think people are more radicalized now than they were 2 decades ago?
I mean,
yes.
I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna hedge my bets on that. Honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna hedge my bets on that.
I think it is, and the reason I say it is because it was intended to be that way. That was all part of the plan. Was to radicalize people, right? It was to take the logic and reasoning away from an argument and just, you know, feel it by emotions. And then there you go. You never have anybody who's ever able to work together because you'll never be able to reason with each other. It's all emotion. It keeps people fighting each other.
Demagoguery has always been a thing.
I mean, yeah.
Not new.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying this is that instance where it is, you know.
Yeah.
So. Oh my god, dude.
I don't know if I don't know how I don't know if that's just a narrative that's always been spread where the radicalization is particularly unique now versus I'm just thinking of like what point in history.
Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had Dank muted that whole time for like an hour. since he joined.
Why? Why did you have to do that whole time?
He was blasting music, or like some ear-rape shit, so I just muted him.
I wasn't doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, when I muted you, I just muted you because you were doing that. I didn't even realize you were back.
I literally had the soundboards in the server and I was using those.
I just heard it through your mic.
Oh, I forgot Discord has that. No, I was gonna say I don't know if that's a recency bias thing where things are particularly radicalized and
I don't know. All it's sounding like, hold on, before you continue, all I'm going to say is it sounds like Trickies couldn't handle the power level of me being here. So
if you're Mike, yeah, I know.
Continue, Fleur.
I said I don't know if that's a recency bias thing, or if there is a if we're in a particularly unique time of radicalization. Because I think about, let's say, I think in the past 2 decades, I probably would agree with that. But I think if we go past that, I don't know. But you can definitely see it in just terms of politics, certainly. I think the divergence of where I'm going to talk about it in the American sense because it's different in the UK. But the divergent, I don't even know because the paradigms are completely different. I can't put today's paradigms on the past because the paradigms are completely different. Because now, where the radicalization comes from, or the separation is not the typical. Okay, yeah, I'm a liberal, I'm a conservative in terms of let's say social or economic values. But it's in terms of if you're establishment versus anti-establishment. And that's just a completely different paradigm. You can't put that paradigm on the past because that's not where the disagreements really came from politically.
If you think there is, go for it. I have one question. I
was just going to say just one more line. I said today's radicalization is just on completely different values versus yesterday's.
So if you were to say that we are more like radicalized now, I'm assuming would you assume one of the bigger factors is simply the evolution of what do you say, communication, like the evolution of communication, right? So if I was it's really hard to I would assume that would be a direct factor for the reason because it's much easier to get access to other people's opinions, right? And it's almost like a McDonaldization of it.
I think the main reason is in a society where we can tune out everything that we don't like and tune into everything that we do like, hyper specifically, which is where we can communicate with anyone with any different opinions. Is I can find anyone that has my opinion and then tune out using the basically technology. I can mute somebody just like Trickies did. Basically don't have to interact with that person. Is that you can just create bubbles where people just don't have to interact with other people, and so you'll get a divergence of realities because you never have to ground it with somebody next to you ever. Whereas if let's say you shut down the internet, I think there'll be a realignment of some kind because now you have to actually worry about your neighbor's version of the truth. You can't block that out because if you want to have a community that prospers, you have to care about your neighbors, your cities. You have to have some sort of alignment there. Otherwise, it's chaos. It doesn't work. So, yeah, I would say it's.
They're blocking off the analysis of data and observation through putting yourself in a bubble essentially.
That's my analysis anyway. Sort of updated from something that Nora sent me. But nicely, like a puzzle piece.
Yeah, he just sent me something about the KGB. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
What year are you in? 69?
Yeah. 1994. Actually, this is the 90s. He jumps back and forth. He jumps back and forth from it's like mainly like the 60s. I don't know. No, it's a lot. Yeah. Fucking KGB, dude.
You know what's really interesting is when it comes to, this is completely off topic, but have you noticed when you play a game or see sort of cultural representations of something in, you know, media, it's always usually the same places, right? It's like you don't know what the Myanmar or Burmese cultural profile looks like in terms of what food they eat, what they look like, what their clothing is like, what their social structures are like. Yeah, you know nothing about that. And it's a fucking massive country. I'm curious. You just don't know fuck all about this massive country.
Yep. Most people, the only thing people know really, like at least the people I know, I've talked to in Myanmar, most of them just know it because it popped up when they had a coup like earlier, like in like 2020.
Yeah.
Or like usually something about like opioid training or just trading from that country to China. That's like literally it.
Isn't it like the golden triangle of drug states?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Political profile, that's it. A very vague political profile of the country, and that's the cultural consciousness of what that country is. And I find it really disappointing because there's a lot of media that has that takes place in the entire world, right? Where you'll have characters from, you know, let's say it's, you know, fiction. So it's a bunch of different characters from different countries. And it's like, where are the characters from these just esoteric places that are massive, have massive populations? But it's just like, oh yeah, we've got a guy from China, got a guy from America, got a guy from fucking UK, France. You know, everyone knows these countries. Everyone has a really solid profile on these countries. It's really unfortunate that we don't have somebody from the DRC. It's like, come on, can we get somebody from the DRC interacting with somebody from Madagascar, Myanmar? Just really, I think that would be way more interesting than everyone's just from the same place all the time. It's like the same 10 countries.
You gotta hit up those Fortnite lobbies, bro. You gotta hit up those Fortnite lobbies with the VPNs, bro. I'm telling you, that's how you get those conversations. You use a VPN and you connect to lobbies in the areas. Like that's actually a strat. Like bro.
I think I'm out. You just said Fortnite.
Yeah, I know. It sounds fucking. I'm trying not to laugh, but literally, that is a strat where you could just use a video game or something, or some form of social media. Just use a VPN, and then you can just connect to people with that same thing. If you use it enough, you'll just automatically be recommended into the same social areas, which is like I've seen that as a strat for talking to people, like in Zimbabwe, for instance. Like I knew somebody that was like he had like a group of people he was talking to in Zimbabwe. Oh, what?
Are you on your meds?
Am I on my meds? What do you mean on my meds?
What the fuck?
Is it good strategy?
Fortnite communication?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, that's a real thing, bro. Actually, like, I mean, like, it's not like what do you say? The ecosystems for social communication are so vastly different that you have to find general like interest, like gaming.
He's saying in order to like contact some of these other people, it's like you have to hop in like these games, right, where a lot of these people from these places hang out in. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I can just go on a message board and not talk to children.
I mean, no, dude, I don't think you understand, Fleur. The demographic that plays Fortnite in Europe and the United States may be like 13-year-olds, but in like Brazil, it's 25-year-olds, like 25-year-old males. Like, I don't think you understand.
in Brazil, you think it skews to
I'm just giving an example. I'm giving an example.
Right.
Yeah, demographics and interest groups are so varied that you'll have cutoffs for like specific, like I'm just saying that was just an example of a strategy from what you're saying. Like, why don't they have people from like, you know, these like African and Asian countries?
Just admit that was crackpot, because why would
it is crackpot. That's why I'm like it's like actual like crackpot, but it works. Like it's like stupid but works.
I'm going on a Burmese Minecraft server to have conversations where I can just go on a message board.
No, Fleur, I don't think you understand. If you wanted to, dude, I'm telling you right now, Fleur, if you wanted to match with like chicks from Europe on Tinder, all you had to do is download a GPS spoofer and just change your location to Europe, and you'll literally match with a bunch of.
Well, if I was doing that in Minecraft, I think I'll have Chris Hansen on my.
So I mean, like that does work, right? Like that does work. That's a real strategy.
No, I know. Just why Fortnite? That's what.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. That was
a little bit. I thought it was funny because I know somebody that does that. I don't play Fortnite, but it's fucking hilarious. Like you're you're trying to have like, oh, I want to have like serious political discussions with people with different perspectives that actually live in these areas I don't hear from much.
Yeah, Fortnite's not going to be the first game I go to for that.
Actually, that sounds. You know what? That might actually be a good idea. Now that I think about it, because if you're going to these random, it's going to be so visceral. Talking to a child on Fortnite. Yeah, what do you think about Myanmar Civil War?
I don't know about it. It's not only kids that play Minecraft or Fortnite though. Like, I mean, I'm just being all, like, you know, like yeah.
All of us in here play those games, so I know from first-hand experience.
Oh god, when it comes to oh my gosh, you guys know what the old tactical servers are on COD? I don't know if you guys know what those are. They're like old tactical servers. Do you want me to explain it? Does anyone here know what those are? Yeah, tactical crouch. Yeah, old tac.
Dude, yeah, I used to like down. Those.
Dude, you know who those are filled with? Fucking veterans, really? Because they want a realistic interpretation of how real-time war works. So if you ever want to talk to veterans, all you have to do is.
You know that? Is it just?
I used to play Old Tac. I played Old Tac for a few years on World at War. Filled to the brim with veterans. You know, like there's certain areas you got to go like for these sorts of things. You just got to know where to go.
COD 4 Pro Mod is where all the good players are at.
Another cool one's what do they call it? Like if you're trying to get into like talk to people from specifically Africa, like what is it called?
Go to a diamond mine.
Okay. No, Tasmanian Singali music. They have music scenes there that are like pretty robust, yet not talked about at all because they're like on like African algorithms. So like Singali music. I mean, you can talk like most of them have at least like some amount of experience talking to people like English speakers, because they have to promote their music through first world country internet platforms. But it's like almost an in group there where like unless you have family from like Uganda or something, or you have a friend that showed it to you, you really wouldn't know anything about it.
Right. My least favorite thing is when you're typing something in a search bar and it comes up in Hindi. Whatever you typed in Hindi at the end of it. You ever seen that? Well, you definitely have. So
there's a reason why it exists, but at the same time, it kills communication because you're like, that's annoying. And then like, you say that enough, they'll like add like locks on languages on, and next thing you know, now you actually try to like look up anything in that country, your the algorithm you're on is going to automatically defer any results in anything having to do with it. If you're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, very interesting. One second, let me see if I can find this shit.
Just had a dream, crashed my car going 200 kilometers, and then as the ambo arrived, Taylor Swift started playing. I then somehow self-revived myself to change the song and then pass away. W.
What?
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck is that tweet? That's definitely the thing is. I've
seen that same joke like over and over again, dude. I swear.
Oh, is it a copy and paste?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like the same formula of a joke.
Right. Oh, okay. The formula. Oh, so it's just he's just. I mean, I assumed he was trolling, but it's like you have 3 likes and you're a random on. Like he's somebody that I've talked to before. He was talking about What is that? What is that called? What is he was talking about crypto to me and Niraj. I think that's the last conversation we had. And me and Niraj just weren't getting it. I was just like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. He's not doing crypto for the money though. He wasn't he was, but it was he was 2 layers deep. He's now into it past that point where he's now interested in the actual mechanics of whoa, that could actually be a secondary currency to the American dollar. That's
this is a deregulation currency meme. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, dude. I mean, the gold, bro. The gold. Just bring up gold over and over.
Yeah,
the gold, bro.
No, I just want to say, like, I swear, everyone that's into cryptocurrency and like even like stocks too, it's like they all sound like they know what they're talking about every time. It's like they always have this 100% method. It's every single one of them. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I love these
you guys.
guys.
Bring up hive mind a lot.
When I'm talking to these people, I wish I could just take a drug to know everything that they're talking about, because I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't get it. I don't know if they're like feeding jargon to me. Like, are you just no? I don't get it. No. But it's just like I'm just like these coins are not stable. Are you just is that just an aesthetic that you're holding in order to, because you just really want to make money deep down, and that's just sort of, you're just intellectualizing it? Is
there could be a monetary gain to anything they say revolving it if they're invested in it. So I mean,
what'd you say?
I mean, is there going to be a monetary gain for them, like with everything they say, like involving it as they're invested in it? So, that's like the biggest like bias ever is like, oh, it works, I use it. Like one thing I really liked was the AMC stock shit. Oh my god! Like if you want to get into money,
please don't bring that up, because I remember Calvin and Dimitri.
Oh man.
Going.
Oh dude, yeah, I think I might have been around at that point back in like 2021, bro. Holy fuck, yeah. I remember that.
Oh,
it was gonna work. I think GameStop on top of it. It was just like, bro.
I don't even know what that was, but it was just it was faith at that point. It was not. There was
It's like short-term stock shorting, or vice versa. It's really silly.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but I just know it wasn't working. I don't know what Dimitri was doing, but as far as I know, whatever he was doing did not work. I don't know. Maybe he's a millionaire, and I'm just. I just didn't believe in him for long enough.
Dude, if it worked, we would have a Canadian Z house. So I'm just have a Canadian Z house at this point. He was talking about how he was gonna make a Z house and everything. I thought it was hilarious. Like, want to get this money? I'm gonna make a Z house. I wish it worked.
Do you think these people were made from the same systems I was describing? These same systems that churn out these like low gumption Twitter activists or whatnot? Twitter activists, I should say.
It's multifaceted, so it could be from that. It could be from a friend. Who knows? Like. When you start sourcing it down, you'll find it's like very multifaceted.
Because what it is you get into a bubble of just one stream of information, and then you believe that reality. It's like, no, I do believe this, because you're only getting it from one place, and you're not the person. You're not the type of person to go and look shit up. You're not gonna go out. You're not gonna go. Okay, how I don't even know how, because I'll never get into crypto, or I'll never make strong claims about anything to do with economics or currency, because I have no idea how any of these systems work. I'm so completely insulated from anything that I like. Well, I guess there is a relation to what I like when it comes to economics, but understanding how economic systems work, or just finance, I guess it's more finance than economics, because it's more micro. And I think there's no way I would ever make a comment without understanding how these systems work. But then I just think, am I just the odd one out that just doesn't really have a grasp on what these systems are and how they work? Or is everyone just going into these or engaging with these systems without the prerequisite knowledge that I think you should have?
Left field here. Do you remember who Ty Lopez was?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. I think one thing, like, especially when you're getting into why do they have these things? Why do they have these opinions? How many people were like the idea of like they're watching like a video about like cats or something, and they're like forced to watch multiple advertisements about like Ty Lopez. You know, very like, you know what I mean? It's like they're getting a snippet of some sort of thing. They just have, yeah. Anyway, it's a really good example, because you can say pretty much anything, it'll be fine at this point. Like, it's just kind of a like, I don't know, the marketing tactics are really really big function of that. And the people you're currently in a what, like, okay, wait, does this dude have a fucking camera on? You're in a Discord with a bunch of zombie like players for all, you know what I mean? Like, do you even know anything about anything outside of zombies? Is like, you know, it's just gonna be a snippet unless they're unless they're like a major in that, proficient, like, or like they have like some sort of career outside of the reason you're talking to them in that subject. So when you see people like talking about like you know, especially with like video games too, like if you see people just talking about things that aren't related to them, you'd assume that they have some sort of information you don't with it. Yet it's just kind of a snippet outside of like whatever social group you're putting yourself in. Maybe you gotta find other people, explore a little bit. I don't think you're the odd one out in any way. Like, that's silly. It's just just not in the right like area of communicating those things or having actual discussions, like intelligent discussions about them.
Wait, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that that the zombies community isn't equipped to have?
No, I'm using the zombies community as an example, and I'm saying that it has to do with the environment you're putting yourself in. I wouldn't say that you'd be the odd. You said I'm not sure if I'm like the odd one out with like the manner I go through, like, you know, what do you call it? Like, get empirical evidence of white people like proofing and stuff like that. Like, I don't think you're the odd one out, but like I would say like it's more or less the environment you're putting yourself in, or the one that you're put in, right?
This is not even just zombies.
Yeah, it's not. I'm just using it as an example, as I said. So like it could be anything, honestly. Like a lot of the people in environments, as an example, zombies or something, that go into like, if they're not doing it as a profession, or they don't have any like, it's not an interest to them, you'll just get opinions from them being marketed towards, especially on the internet. Like, that's usually the case. I bet it was like a Reddit thing or something where, like, you know, the AMC stock, like, boom, you know, it's like a marketing.
Any better?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, you know, it's not like you're not talking to like economists or anyone that's actually like dealt with the stock market for more than 10 years. You're seeing a wave of marketing for specifics on it.
I wonder. I'm actually very skeptical of Reddit, and when it comes to stocks, I wonder if they're like, yeah, we know what we're talking about.
You should equate it with, like, I mean, you should do what you want, but I personally equate it with X. Like, it's kind of the similar social media function it has in like any field, honestly, that, like, if it's not a hobby, if you consider it academic in some way, it's the equivalent of X. you'd have to like go to very specific people that you know outside of that social media platform for information that
True.
actually pertains to it in some way, like actually pertains to the subject in some way that isn't just marketing, like overlaying the interest group or the group environment you're part of. What's your opinion on trains? Like old trains?
They're really cool. Why?
Oh, you like hell yeah, brother.
Well, I liked the underground as a kid.
That's what.
If you know what that is.
Nope.
It's the metro in London. And it's quite vintage. That's the aesthetic that they go for.
It's called Tube.
Yeah, people call it the Tube or the Underground. Oh, we should play that game, that browser game. The one where the time guesser. Wait. I want to ask you a question. What part of the country is London in?
What part of the country is London in?
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer with like what do you want me to answer with?
North, south, east, west, southeast, southwest.
I always, without having any knowledge on the world map, really, I always assumed it would be like Midwest of the UK, but I'm not. I'm absolutely wrong.
You are.
Yeah, I know I'm wrong. I'm not really good with locations. You'd fuck like most people would fuck me up in GeoGuessr. So
I know. I just wanted your knowledge.
Yeah, I'm an American brain. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just laughing at Tricky, so I needed a second opinion.
Where is London? Now I ask you.
South.
South.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's like southern. Oh. I can just look at the map and then like forget completely south. Cool.
Not touching like the sea, but it's definitely on the bottom part of the country. Pretty close to London, actually. What you think about 3D printers?
Oh man, that's a good one. I think you should have licenses. I think you should have a license for one of those. I think it should be like legal, but I think there should be some sort of licensing or credential like check on a governmental level for them.
Why?
Because it's really easy to like do fuck shit with them.
Oh, you saying like make firearms?
Yeah, that's one of the. I mean, they're great. They're awesome when it comes to like airplanes and like specific factory settings because you can make things much cheaper and quicker. But when it comes to like individual use of them, I feel like you should have at least some sort of background check on why you have one for sure. This is a U.S. perspective, though, obviously, and it would actually be more important over in the EU, in my opinion, because you guys have much like more tense. You have way tenser gun laws. You get like what, a hunting rifle or something. If you get like the license for it or something, am I right? Like you can get like a hunting, yeah. Or you have to, what's the? I always wondered what the. I guess I could look this up, but you're here. What is the laws on ex-military weapon ownership? Like if you were part of the I don't know Royal Air Force or something, like are you allowed to have a firearm like after leaving the military? Or are you just a civilian again?
You're just a civ, as far as I know. I don't really know that
so
much
you
about
still had to go through the hunting license.
I would assume so.
Interesting.
Is it different?
Yeah, I just wonder what that. There's a what do you say? There's like a almost like an overlap of law of you're ex-military in the United States and you want a firearm unless you are like dishonorably discharged or you had some sort of like history of illness or something. That's kind of the standard. But your probability of getting a license for pretty much anything you want goes up a fuck ton if you're like ex-military. Just kind of random, but
okay. I mean, you did serve. I mean, that is some sort of character judgment, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, you can own a tank, a fully working tank as a civilian in Arizona. I love saying that. It's so cool. You can own a fucking tank. You can only allow
a bunch of these random facts, and then you love to go and just ramble on about.
Yeah. No, if you don't find it interesting, that's cool. But like on the topic of like 3D printing and everything, it's kind of I kind of segued into firearms. Yeah, 3D printed tank. Dude, it's just that I just gotta. If it's decommissioned, I just like there's this thing over here. I just need to change out, and there you go.
Interesting. Understandable.
The 3D printing is freaking amazing. Like even orange boxes are super cool.
Yeah,
like those are like, bruh, it's lit.
Yo, Naraj. Naraj, I'm speaking to you.
Wait, who? Where?
No, somebody in the chat. I just went into Tricky's stream. Tell Flora I said hi. At Joasu, hi. Naraj with 10 J's.
Nah, that's crazy. No,
so
I'm not Naraj.
Yeah, that's a charm for it.
I'm like bitch Stewie version of Naraj.
Wanda and Naraj that they all have quite similar mannerisms, accents, and you're all from like the liberal coast, so yeah, it makes sense.
Liberal coast, I love it. Yeah, liberal coast. I'm actually from Georgia,
pretty much. So
I'm from Georgia. I was born and raised in Georgia. I actually had a country accent most of the time I was alive. It's just kind of like I talked to a bunch of Call of Duty stoners most of my life, so it just kind of tacked on me. There you go. Now I sound like a Georgian again. Kind of cool.
Yeah, you definitely got fucked in the arse or something, because I would not be able to tell that you were from the South.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. I mean, you're from Chaz pretty much. There's something you're not telling me? Yeah, you're from Chaz. That's the funniest thing.
I'm funded by George Soros.
Just learning about that is the funniest thing. That actually happened, and you were there too. That's crazy.
I was in Edmonds at the time, and I remember when it happened. Edmonds is like it's literally like 7 miles north of where I live. It's not that far, and like I luckily wasn't in Seattle when that happened. But yeah, shit was fucking wild. Like everyone I talked to was asking me about it. Like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, what's going on? I was just like, I don't know. All these people, they're trying to farm. They're gonna make their own country. They're gonna have a micro. Have you ever go down the rabbit hole of micronations or like autonomous nations?
Even by autonomous nation.
Not autonomous. What's the right word? Like, have you heard like the Kingdom of Callaway, for instance? That's
you talking about these bullshit nations?
Yeah, it's kind of similar shit, honestly. It's like the Kingdom of Callaway.
Missouri has 113 counties, but only one kingdom. Cheesy shit I think I've ever heard in my life. Guys are on Zoom. How do you think the election is gonna go? Which way do you think it's gonna go? You wanna make some bets?
I want to see Jeb Bush pop out of nowhere and fucking dominate. Honestly, that'd be cool.
Sure. Sorry, I shouldn't have answered. I should just You're gonna start talking about random. If I ask you something, you're just gonna start talking about a street. Yeah,
Well,
Trump,
Jeff,
Biden,
yeah, you
obviously.
want Trump Biden. That I know you want that, but I'm 100% like.
What do you mean I want that? That's
What do you
what's
want? What do you
going to
want?
happen.
Yeah, sure. What if Jeb Bush? I like the hypotheticals. I don't know. Probably Biden. Like probably. I don't know.
By Biden.
I don't know. Most likely Biden. I also live in where I do, so if I lived in Georgia, I'd be like, oh, Trump. You know, it's just like
Wait,
really.
why would the location change who you think is going to win?
They give me a bias on the people around me that I talk to about politics outside of the internet.
Right. Wait, is that? Oh, so is that? Oh, okay. So you're just getting it from other people. You're getting the atmosphere. You're not even really that interested. All right.
No, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not that interested.
Fuck
Like,
it.
yeah.
I'm from Seattle. Fucking don't know. I'm from Chaz. We don't even allow police
literally.
around here.
Dude. No, like, they gave up. Fuck it.
When's
Peace out.
when's the next one going to happen?
I mean, what we have now are just a bunch of open air drug markets. So, like, I don't know.
Wait,
I don't
what you
know.
call it? An open air drug? Wait, what does that sequence of words even mean?
Open air drug market means that it's a market out in the like. To give you an example, it'd be like a market out on the street where there's just some dude on a corner of a street selling drugs and people are just using them. They call it open air drug market.
But why open air?
It's just a term
just
used
on the
for that.
streets.
Yo, it isn't like a facility, or it's not like any sort of like.
But
It's just
markets
like
are on the
literally just go up.
street, right? Isn't that the default assumption? Like market.
I mean, if you believe in like the freaking shady dude in a trench coat is going to come up to you and try to sell you some something, then yeah.
Open air drug
a lot of it's. Well, you have like shipping, drug shipping. That's like a huge thing, and then you have like this sort of shit.
I got a new
It's
build plate
actually
for my printer.
called-
Yeah,
What'd
that's
you
what it's
say?
called. I'm using the actual. What'd you say?
Oh, I was gonna say I got a new build plate for my printer, so I'm setting that up. I was trying to get it working. I stepped away for a bit.
Open air drug dealing in open.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a term.
pretty
Wait,
common.
so you make a difference between your default. So when I say the word market, you don't think of just something outside.
Like, what do you mean with
Do you
drugs?
guys have any markets like that? Like people just selling vegetables? Just
Yeah, we have farmers markets.
yeah, just call them markets, right? Wow,
It's an open air market.
Open air market.
Well, market also refers to like any like grossing revenue directly, like a
Yeah.
derivative of a product. So
Right.
or
Contextually,
transaction.
yeah, right. Contextually, I think you could get what market means.
Yeah.
It's open air now. It's actually in the open.
Quite literally.
Kingdom of
From
Callaway.
ojb.gov, open air drug markets operate in geographically well-defined areas and identifiable times so buyers and sellers can easily locate one another.
This guy, he's not serious. I'm telling you, he's not serious.
I'm off the walk, bro.
You take your
All right,
pills.
Fleur.
Taking pills, bro.
Yeah.
Got that lithium IV injection, dog.
Build plate should I get?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
these are too expensive. Hold up.
So what do these even mean?
Right. So you put these on your bed, and then
wow.
you print you print on this, and then the shiny surface like gets on the print. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
It reflects on the print. Some of these pictures might have a picture. Let's see. This one might. Right. So you see how
Yeah, no, I
like
get
it's
it. No, I get
yeah,
it. I get
it's
it.
that's actually really cool, isn't it? I thought at first I was like, oh, whatever, but then I saw like how like some of these like spark. I was like, dang, this is actually really really sick.
I'm surprised you just don't get one that just says Supreme all over it. But that was your
Yo,
style,
dude.
man.
You have to go
they don't really have a whole lot of options at the moment. Like it's kind of just like limited between these kind of different patterns. I don't know if they have anything else. I wouldn't get something like that. That's too. I would rep something like that in COD Zombies, but like it's too tacky. It's tacky. It's just so tacky.
It's really super tacky, yeah.
What's the difference between PEI and PEY? I don't know what that is.
It's just a type of plastic material.
Is this acrylic?
Coating. Sorry, there's a steel plate and then it gets sprayed with this, PEI, PET, PEO. It gets sprayed with this material basically.
Chameleon, Phantom, Starry Sky, Aurora.
I like the Starry Sky one. I like the Aurora one. I think this would be the Aurora one would be really cool on like a silver print. You know what I'm saying?
That would look really nice on a pap camo.
Yeah, it's true.
These are all pap camos. Carbon fiber.
These are pap camo, yeah.
Wait, did this is like I'm tangential. The fucking what do you call it? Animated camos ever come out for yeah. Okay. That was a huge thing on multiplayer in Quake, but like it took forever for people to realize that worked. Good shit. I know Beanie was like flexing he knew about it, but like I was like I never saw any result of that in like Zombies at all. But even like the Pluto like trick shotters had that for like probably fucking like 4 or 5 years now. Neat.
Damn, the cable management. Oh my god. Immaculate.
Do you just have like an orange box, or like what do you have?
Well, anyway, I just I went on an open air bike ride.
Yeah, I don't make the terms. I don't make them. I'm just saying, I don't make those terms.
I thought you did. I thought you would just concatenate a bunch of random bullshit together. So yeah.
Whatever. No, it's real. Look it up.
I mean, you just sent me what I needed to look at, so yeah, I'm fine.
I'm a bitch. I'll send it. Fucking.
Did you listen to my track? I tried out your track.
Give me the track.
I did in DMs, and you didn't even respond.
I didn't listen to it at all. Actually, I'm a horrible person. Let me. What is this? Hurricane Suite. Did you try? I love how you said that. Yeah, I think you sent this to me like while I was doing all the. I didn't even. That was the day. Yeah, I have everything muted, bro. My bad.
Oh, is that when you were? Oh, no, you're probably thinking about that street.
Yeah, dude, I was fucking getting flashbacks. Agent Orange. Oh. Is this from the Naruto soundtrack or?
Yeah, Shippuden.
Yeah,
What you sent me was the equivalent of Tyler 1. Where he's a very successful streamer, but he still has a shitty headset mic.
Yeah.
That was what that song was, where it's like, yeah, I'm producing music, but I'm just gonna have Tyler 1
like fucking bass drops. Until, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much dumb stuff. Hey man, you like what you like, I like what I like.
Oh, you liked that? Oh, I
thought you just said... Eddie Stott's great. I love Eddie Stott. Yeah, he's a good artist. Not all of his stuff's like that, but that one specifically is so bass boosted for no reason. He uses what do you call it? He uses like a modular synthesizer as well, so it's completely controlled by him.
I don't know what any of these. No, don't. When you start talking about music sheets and the compression and catalyzer special machine woo voodoo that they use to produce music. I'm sorry.
Pulling out the tarot card. 1 second.
The tarot cards, Jesus.
Pulling out the tarot card. 1 second. Let me see. What do we got today?
I remember my mom going to tarot card readings. Oh Jesus. That's traumatizing.
I saw my stepmom get an exorcism at a Fire and Brimstone church in Georgia once. That was pretty fucking crazy. That was like shaking and shit. The only thing they were missing was dancing with snakes. Like honestly, fucking anyway. Comment evangelist says, let me see. I'm gonna just send a single thing. I think you'll just see it and go, oh, okay, I know that. It's just like a bunch of chords and make noises. You know, best way to put it.
So much jogging that I don't. Yeah, I've never enjoyed music on a level where I'm learning the sheet, what the sheet music, the actual note and the notations are. Oh, this one's only a 7-bar, 7-8-7 formation. It's just like, what the fuck? And people actually engage in music in that level. I guess if you want to play something, you definitely have to engage in that sort of format. I mean, that's the language of music. But nah, I just listen to it.
Music will exist for a reason. As I said earlier when we were talking about education, I was heavily like gravitated towards band off the bat. I think that's where one of my main interests were. So I'm not on like music level. Oh yeah. I was second tier French horn in middle school actually. I played for state back in middle school.
Again, don't know any music terms, just to reiterate. So
French second chair is like you have like you're pretty much the main, like you have like, you know how there's like lead guitar and then backing guitar, but you have like the dude doing the solos, and you have like, okay, so main, like what do you say, lead, and then what do you call it, back guitar, I'll just call it back guitar, is like you know, you have the dude playing the solos, right, and then you have another guy in the band who's just doing specific chords, like chord progression, you know, like
what's chord progression? I've had this so many times. Never bothered to learn.
So, for instance, if I like had like I was doing like a G, like I don't know, like here you go. I would just link like I would literally just link any classic rock at this point for this. So like if you have somebody who's just doing like specific chords or keys to the I guess the right word would be synchronized with the other parts of the band that aren't guitarists. This also goes into pretty much like the only thing you won't see this really with is like percussion instruments, but with most strings and even with vocals, you have like you know, lead vocals, then back vocals, like two people singing. You know, it's like you have the one person who kind of the lead who like is doing
what is chord progression?
What is chord progression? It's when you progress chords in a certain way.
Even with basic but what chords are you progressing?
It depends on what key the song is. The chords that exist on the instrument you're using.
Wait, yeah, but what are they? I'm not conceptualizing anything.
Oh god, oh god. I don't know.
Do I have to look it up? Can you not explain it without going onto that street with Google?
Brother, there's no way I'm gonna explain like chord progression on a level that doesn't sound retarded. So I would highly recommend just look up.
Is it one of those things where somebody doesn't understand?
I'm not a music theory major, and I don't want to say the wrong thing with this.
In music, what is a? Oh, okay, here we go. A chord is the layering of several tones played simultaneously, usually built on superposed thirds? What the fuck does that mean? Alright, lady in 2019, 29th of December, posted something. What is a chord in music? How to build chord and chord progression.
Oh shit.
Jesus, she has the Seattle shake. Hold on. Fuck. Damn. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Yeah, I got a gumption. I have a gumption whiteboard where every time you say gumption, I put a tally mark, and now I'm gonna make a new one for Seattle. Fucking tally mark every time you say it, bro. Did I ever tell you about the homeless guy that came up to me? Told me I was in the Forbidden Land. Okay. Yeah. This place is cursed.
Alright. Let's go. If you don't know what it is, let's learn it together. But does it?
Go
Where
for
do you
it.
think this
I think
lady
it's like
is from
harmonic
in
progression
America?
of notes.
Hold on,
Are you
Jesus, you're in your own
stereotyping
world.
somebody? Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
am
look.
stereotyping. What part of America do you think she's from? Are you ready?
I want to hear you because I mean, I already did actually. Fucking Christ.
Okay, I'll go first and you go. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Peggy, and in today's video, we're going to learn how to write better chord progressions. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. Learning how
Facts.
Dude, that head shake, bro. Go back.
chord progressions. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content.
Oh, dude, what the fuck is that head shake, bro?
Yo, this
I'm gonna go with.
This angle is so bad.
Kansas. She's from Kansas. Fuck it. She's from Kansas.
She's from the liberal coast.
Yeah, I was gonna say West Coast. That was literally my first guess for California.
Do you see this magic rock? Do you see this magic rock around?
Dude,
like she definitely does rock smelling or whatever the fuck, tarot card readings.
Fucking what is it? The electronic resonance of the magnetic resonance of the rock is like giving me the vibe I need for today. I have different ones for different days.
Learning how chords work and how to make better chord progressions will make your music more expressive and will move your fans and listeners. Let's get started.
She's definitely an actor from California. I guess 100% what I would say.
You said she's from Kansas.
I was just making a meme. I was just fucking the profiling up. Like, yeah, she's from Kansas. Who knows? You could be some rich like person in Kansas with just a bunch of money to make a studio in the middle of nowhere.
Polyphonic overtone singing, a voice technique where it seems like one person sings two notes at the same time.
Chords happen when 3 or more notes play at the same time. When 2 notes play at the same time, it makes a harmony. Chords have 3 or more notes and are responsible for setting the
Wait,
it makes a harmony. Chords have 3 or more notes.
So 2 is a harmony, 3 is a chord? Hold on, let's go back.
Chords happen when 3 or more notes play at the same time. When 2 notes play at the same time, it makes a harmony.
Alright, so I'm correct. Alright, nice, we got it.
Chords have 3 or more notes and are responsible for setting the emotion in music. In a song, chords are almost always in the same key. If you play a bunch of notes in the key of C major, you're playing some kind of C major chord. The most common
Wait, what is C major? What?
You have different
kind of C major chord.
So this is an A chord in C major. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, there's more.
It's tuning.
There you go. Yeah.
Wait, so the keys repeat?
Yeah.
Well, they're different octaves. So if you look at the 2 C keys, they're the same note, but in different octaves. Like the one to the right is 1 octave higher than the one to the left. And since it's between the 2 keys, you know, that's yeah. They're the same keys. They repeat on octaves though.
So she's pressing C, D, E, A, C. It's a lot of keys she's pressing. Wait, so does one key correspond to 1 note?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
With the piano.
So A chord in C major. I don't know any of that. Were you gonna explain it to me? What that means?
No, I'll just let it cook. Keep playing.
All right.
The most common chords are triads, and they contain 3 notes from the major scale: the root, or the first note of the scale, the 3rd note, and the 5th. Here's the first note, C. Skip D, then press E. Skip F, and then you have G. Move the shape around all the white keys, and you'll get different chords in the key of C major. In music, there are 4 types of triads, and I'll be discussing.
Why is it C major? What she's.
You have like what do you say? C minor. Fuck. So with majors and minors, it's usually just the noise of the note, like the actual like tone of the note. So it's the same note, it just has a different like or chord, but it just has like a different it just sounds different. Best way I could put it. Minor, think if you want to keep it simple, think like the pressy, like kind of like I know it sounds really dumb, but like think kind of like, you know, a little bit lower of a tone than major. That's normally the way I would do it back in fucking like what do you say, middle school.
2 most common types.
Oh, what the fuck? Reset my...
Major and minor. Most listeners are pretty familiar with these chords. Major chords sound brighter and happier, and minor chords sound darker and a little more sad. Listen to
so she's just explaining the basics. Okay.
the chords and try to associate a feeling with them. Here's a major chord. Okay, I'm gonna try minor.
Oh, so they use the black keys.
I need to pick me up. I'm gonna try a chord progression.
They're called sharps.
All right, that felt good. Let's try a minor progression. All right. Now that I have my feelings sorted out, let's look at where chords live on the piano. Analyze the chord by counting the semitones between the notes. From C.
What'd you say?
Her semantics are wild. Like, she's clearly like, I don't know who paid her to do this, but she has like her the way she's moving her hands and everything expressively is very interesting.
Maybe she's just trying to have fun with the video and spread the energy. Come on now.
Yeah, the energetic rock vibes. I fuck with it.
Yeah, so
If done correctly, it's pretty fire.
To E. How many do we have? That's right, there's 4. Now count from E to G. How many? There's 3. The formula for major chords is 4 semitones between the first 2 notes and 3 semitones between the second 2 notes. What happens if you flip that formula? It's just like if you flip emotions. It goes from happy to sad. 4 and 3 becomes 3 and 4. So count 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a black key. Cool. Then from that black key, we count 4. 2, 3, 4. And we land on G. There's our C minor triad. Review the major scale formula to build chords on every note of the scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Let's change keys to keep things fresh. G major. Make a chord by picking every other note. Then you can move that shape up the scale. Analyze the formula for each chord and it will tell you if it's major or minor. For example, the first chord, G major. 4, then 3. Move one up and you get an A chord. It's 3, then 4, so minor. You can do this all the way up the scale. In any major key, the same chord qualities occur in the same order.
Can we just take a second? So you use a keyboard. This is a keyboard, right? So she's using a keyboard, but then look at the keyboard under her.
Oh my
I don't know
god.
how the fuck you do that. Wouldn't you want nice mechanical
Oh my god.
keys? Not these, like, you know what the worst thing about laptops is that they have those really flat keys, right?
Yeah.
So you
I don't know, those flag keys aren't too bad.
Yeah, it depends on it.
You actually like them? I hate them so much.
Depends on which one. Like the old ThinkPad keyboards. Man, those would get ass.
ThinkPad, bruv.
Yeah, the
Or
one is
the
lit,
the
bro.
red dot in the middle.
Yeah.
You want a clip mouse. Like, it's like the...
Yeah, the nipple, dude. The nipple is fire, dude. That's actually one of my favorite laptop innovations for sure.
Oh,
What
fuck
does
yeah,
it
the word.
do?
No, my god. It's just
It's a mouse pointer. Think of it like a joystick, but it's like works really well actually.
Interesting.
In any major key, the same chord qualities
It is
occur in the
really
same
good,
order. Let's check it out in C
actually.
major. So we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B. That last one sounds strange. It's not major or minor. Spooky. Let's count the semitones. There are 3 between B and D, and another 3 between D and F. That makes a diminished chord. To apply this information to any key, it's easier to label the chords in a numbered list. We use Roman numerals because we can identify major and minor chords with uppercase and lowercase letters. This way, we can make chord progressions in any key. If you don't know your Roman numerals, you're going to learn them now. Let's label the chords from 1 to 7. An uppercase letter will mean major, and a lowercase letter will mean minor. The first chord in C major is a major triad. We'll call it 1. Second is D minor, and we'll use a 2. Third is E minor. Fourth is F major. Fifth is G major. A minor we'll use a 6. And for B diminished, we'll use a 7 with a little circle next to it. Now that you know your Roman numerals, we can discover how harmony develops in music. You've probably heard this progression before. This chord progression, 1, 5, 6, 4, is an extremely popular progression that happens in a lot of pop songs. I played it in the key of C major. Let's review the chords in F major, and we'll try playing 1, 5, 6, 4 in that key. Play the chords up the scale following the correct chord qualities. So we have major, minor,
Why am I learning
minor,
keyboard
major,
tutorial?
major, minor, and diminished. Great job. Now let's try and play a 1, 5, 6, 4 in the key of F major. First is F
all
major.
instruments,
Count of 5, and you have C
especially
major.
like string instruments, it's the most consistent for proofing like notes and tones. Like that's just kind of the standard is if you have like a certain song and you're like oh god, I just choked on my own spit. Fuck. It's just like what the default is for like showing specific notes. Even with like other string instruments like guitars, there's tuning and whatnot that happens. You can assume that the standard will normally be like a piano, as there isn't really any tuning process out of you making the piano. Even with brass instruments as well, it's like literally anything that you blow into, it completely depends on the actual person blowing air into it, which will slightly change the note or tone. So it's just kind of the standard if you're trying to teach notes and whatnot.
D minor is 6, and we end with B flat major. Change keys to create a different vibe, match your voice better, or sync up to samples in your DAW.
Different vibe.
Comment below with what you'd like to learn next. We love feedback, so let us know what you liked and what you didn't like about this video, and like and subscribe to get the latest from Lander.
So where was she from? That's what I'm most interested in.
I'm hearing the word vibe a lot, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
From Chaz, bro.
From Chaz, bro.
From Chaz, bro. Gonna tell me the beauties and the resonance of quartz rocks.
Montreal and New York. Okay.
Yeah, close enough.
that's the other coast, my brother.
Same shit, different story, dude.
Nah, that's
completely
different.
Same shit, bro. Different place. Yeah. When it comes to like art scenes, they're really like they're pretty much the same thing anywhere.
What's your favorite chord? Yeah, this is like the fucking. This is like starting up a new media company, and it's like we need interactions.
Please.
All right.
It might be a little.
Ooh, mommy. You can say I love you to mommy. Nice and respectful. Remind her how much you love her.
What are you talking about?
Just not a mother in the background.
Are you talking about how much you love your mother? Wow, you're such a good son. It's very sweet of you.
I said you should tell her that.
That's not my mom.
Okay.
It's my girlfriend. What?
All right.
Oh, you didn't. I moved out. You didn't know that?
No. Yeah,
Oh, you live at do you have your own spot, or is it a room, or what? What's going on?
What would you say?
Oh, do you live in like a? You're in college, correct, or uni or something?
No.
I graduated.
No, you already graduated. If I remember the last time I talked to you was like 2020, and if I remember correctly, you were in college, but I might be wrong, or uni or something like that.
Man, he's not even in the state that he was.
Yeah. There's like a huge arc that
you're
missed with
7 updates behind.
Yeah, I'm running Windows 98, dog. Honestly.
Yeah, moved. And yeah.
Wait, you're still running Windows? You're not on Linux yet? Oh no.
They moved. That's wild. Again, what is that?
You're in the best state in the country.
Well, oh,
no, you don't need to talk yourself or release any personal information. Like, you're good, bro. You're fine. Oh, fucking
no.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You're good.
Well, the other thing is what Tricky says, a definite no.
Are you in Texas? Are you in Texas?
No, they're in Arkansas.
Oh my god. I know nothing about that place.
Arkansas, sorry.
Nothing to know.
There's nothing.
There's
nothing
literally nothing to know. That's all you gotta know.
Oh my god, man! What?
There's a place called Little
You've
Rock.
got to be kidding me, dude. I'm out of here, dude. That was my last game. I'm done, dude. Why did
there's a secret place called Big Rock.
Dude, why did you saw how the zombie like spread? That was so gay, dude. That's like one of the gayest downs I've taken in a while.
Trickies. Did you know there's a secret city in the mountains called Big Rock?
Yeah, actually.
You've probably never heard of it because you've never been invited because you're not cool enough. But
dude.
Wait, what's the first rule about Big Rock?
You don't talk about Big Rock.
Damn.
True.
What is Big Rock? I'm like looking it up. Like, the fuck am I supposed to? Like, it's just all I'm getting is like first major outcrop of rock along the river, 120. What? Is it just like? How is it secretive? Now I'm interested because it's secretive. What's going on with Big Rock?
City in Arkansas.
Did you see how that zombie spread though? What? I've never downed like that.
You took the last hit when I tapped in. Little Rock has a zoo? It's tight.
Most cities have a zoo. Most big cities have a zoo.
Oh, how big is Little Rock, population-wise?
It's not that big.
202.
I was gonna say 200,000.
It's pretty small for a city. Like a main city.
There's another place with a really
Indianapolis
weird
had like
name.
what 800,000 or something like that, or 1.2 million.
Oh, is it called Hot Springs?
Yeah, Hot Springs. Yeah, Hot Springs.
It's,
Oh yeah, you have the
one of the interesting
Ozarks.
places.
That's what the mountain range is called, Ozarks. Yeah, I forgot for a second. I don't know why.
Back, dude. There's no way.
That's gotta be the most peculiar name. Ozarks.
Dude, Trickies would know all about the Ozarks. Yeah, that entire look. I'm gonna be honest. Like this entire, so from like the west side of Arkansas to what I want to say Georgia is
Georgia's
just
Appalachians, but
all places like to the east of Georgia, all places you don't want to be, in my opinion.
yeah,
All
fuck Georgia.
places east of Georgia?
No. That entire that
North
west border of
Carolina.
Arkansas all the way to the east border of Georgia is quite literally
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire like
Oh, okay.
yeah, all those states right there.
Mississippi,
I would not want to live in
Louisiana.
any single of those.
The goddamn Bible Belt buckle,
Louisiana.
brother.
I really don't want to live in any of those. Maybe like no, not even Atlanta, Georgia.
What?
No.
What to say, Atlanta? No, there's
No,
some nice
fuck
parts
no.
of Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, if you're we call them snowbirds. If you're super uber rich and you just want to have like
Jekyll
thousands
Island.
of acres of
Right, that's in
property,
Georgia, right?
Northeast Georgia is a strat. Like you just get like a fuck ton of property there. You're pretty much in self-survival mode though. There's like Walmarts, but that's about it. You know.
See, that's the problem. I don't want to live in bumfuck nowhere, and then also I don't want to live in.
Why don't you live in Indiana anymore? Why Arkansas?
Yeah, like
Parents move.
Oh, okay.
Parents move. I finished school, moved in with my parents. Should have my parents. It's a long move.
Indianapolis look nice.
It is actually. I would totally move back. I would move back to Indiana. 100%. Indiana is actually underrated, super underrated. It needs to stay underrated for when I move back and buy property there.
Yeah, true. We got street view. Oh, I can't. Little Rock.
Yeah.
Is that the capital? The
Yeah.
biggest city?
Yeah.
Little Rock.
It's kind of
That's the funniest name.
pretty shit city. Some of the cities like southwest of Little Rock are generally better. Not those. Holy shit, way too southwest, like 20 miles southwest, dude. Like you're way too far out. I think Ben's actually pretty nice. And Bryant and Ben, I think, are two of the nicer
Big
like
Rock
areas.
is being located.
Big Rock located. Oh,
Oh shit!
I told you, Trickies wasn't cool enough to tap in, bro.
Yo,
You wouldn't know. He wouldn't know about Big Rock, man.
no, I literally told you I've seen it on the map before. I used to joke about
It's a
it. back in, like, the
township.
sixth
It's a
grade.
township.
Oh shit, really? I
Yeah.
just came up with that on the spot. I didn't actually know that
You
existed,
didn't know it was
but
real. No,
No, I did
neither
not.
did I. I used to make jokes like back in the sixth grade with my classmates that like we're going to Big Rock, and then I found out it was actually a real place. Like,
You're going to Big Rock.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
dude.
You know, Tricky's is so rural that the Google car hasn't drove to his house. That his house is not even there. That's how rural he is. Oh my god. Brian, that is gonna be.
Does that say Kentucky?
Where? Oh yeah,
On the left.
Kentucky.
What the fuck?
In Salem. It's the witch trials.
The fuck is
Oh,
it?
yeah, I was under Salem.
So-
Shannon Hills. Landmark is just called Landmark.
Yo, that's where I
Arkansas
went to
is
school
wild.
down there.
Really?
East End. East
Oh,
End.
East End. Nice. Lakeside. Sardis. Brookside? I like that name. What are these numbers? What? Is this the elevation? Is that why these numbers? Oh no, they're roads. What? I'm not even gonna question it. Forest Tower Food Mart. I'm going to sleep.
No way, dude. No way. Stop the cap.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So, got.